There it is, baby. Your mic went out, Chico. Your mic acting up.
Uh-oh. A little bit bold wrong.
It's about to go down on the prime debate, y'all.
Let go.
Come on in. I know they're ready for this one tonight, Chico. They ain't ready for this. Play me my theme music.
A little bit bold wrong. You about it?
I'm loving it. I'm loving it, man. Listen, what's up with you, dog? We in the building. We in the place to be. What's up? What's up, man? Chico, Big Dog, Chico. Coach Hayes in the building on the prime debate. Let me know everything looks good, sounds good in the chat. And we'll definitely get this thing rocking and rolling, man. How you been, dog? What's been up? It's been 7 days, man.
Been 7 days, and it wasn't a great one this past Saturday, of course. You know what I mean? Going for the Colorado Buffaloes. But other than that, we're here, we're healthy. Happy to be here. So, we're gonna bounce back after that bad loss up there in Eugene, Oregon to get us going back in the right direction.
Yeah, man. Like I say, hey, it was tough, and we definitely gonna jump into it, man. I'm not sure if you want to do a little roll call here, but I'll definitely kick this deal off. Gotta always give my producer Ellen love in the building. Appreciate you. Let me see who I see. A couple people, man. Brother Jay Blaze up in this joint, man. All right, up in here. Pilo. Shout out to the best YouTube channel on YouTube. I'm loving it. The Juice in the building. All right, man. Big Dog Chico, give some love to your folks out there, man.
Oh, now Pop D, my partner, my road dog, my brother D Reese. What's happening with you, Pete Diddy Pop? My dog Ellen V. Oh, now okay. Stream Elements. Drosky, old school up in this thing. Oh, now Brother Jay, Paul Hardrick, and everybody else, Pilo, the Juice, and everybody else checking in. New member William Reeves, Mackie and T all up in this thing. Oh, not everybody about that, man. We about to do this thing the way that we do this thing. You feel me? The prime debate. Let's go.
Let's go. I'm trying to keep up, y'all. So I'm looking for the links. The Oh Now. Explain that. I meant to ask you that last week. What is Oh Now? How you get to that? What is that?
Man, so first of all, let me just say it came because I was like, I'm going to be doing these shout outs to everybody. I didn't want to just do it the same way everybody do them and just say, what's up this person, or shout out to that person, or keep saying shout out. So I said, what else can I say? And I went back to where I'm from. You know what I mean? Like y'all would say the crib. You know what I'm saying?
The crib. From the crib.
So I said, you know what we say, and I used to kind of laugh at it, because it was so what I call Selma, where I'm from, and people will see you and they'll say, oh, now, or they'll say, oh, now, Chico, oh, now, you know what I mean? It's like, what's up? What's happening? You know what I mean? Oh, now, what's going on? And so I said, I'm going to bring that to the word I know nobody else is saying, oh, now. So, boom, I saw somebody in London say, oh, now from London. You know what I mean? So,
that's some straight Alabama. I had to be honest with you. Because I know people in Texas, but like already. They say already.
You feel me? So it's oh, now where I'm from. So, oh, now to everybody out there internationally and nationally known, man. Be out there up in the building. And Coach Hayes, you know what I mean? So, hey, shouts out to South Florida too. You know what I mean? Because that's where you from, Coach Hayes. Tell everybody where you from exactly, because somebody was asking me, where's Coach Hayes from? Let them know exactly.
I'm from Carroll City, right? I tell people if you're over 30, it's Carroll City. Now they call it Miami Gardens. That's kind of right there where the Hurricanes play, actually, in that stadium where the Dolphins play. It's called the Hard Rock, but Like I said, if you that age, we call it Joe Robbie. That's what it was always known as. But I'm from Miami. Yeah, Joe Robbie Stadium, baby. That's where it all started, man. At the crib, man. But anyway, yeah, man, from the crib, from Miami. And so that's what it is. So we don't say already. We say we from the crib. All right. So there it is. We from Dade, the county, born and raised in the county of Dade, man. But here we go, man. Listen, we ain't gonna do a 3-hour show like we did last time. It was the first one. It was jumping. We're gonna open the phone lines at the end, and I'll talk about that as we get into it. But as you jump on in, we are dual streaming. So we're streaming on my site, we're streaming on Chico's site, we're making it happen. We get to show love. You can put comments in, we both can see them, all that great stuff. And I do got to give you some love right here, because I must make this happen for you. During this right here, you got a new member, bro. Talk to us about your membership.
William Reeves. Oh, now William Reeves. Appreciate you joining in. So on my page, you can go to Big Dog Chico page. You can hit the join button. It should be right beside the subscribe button if you're on the laptop or desktop. If you're on your phone, I think some type of way, you go to the comments or go to the video and you'll see a join button, and you can hit the join button, become an official member, subscribe to the channel, and get become an official Big Dog for one, and then you get exclusive type of videos and stuff that I drop.
I love it, man. And right here, the producer, she know what time it is. If you want to join the membership here on this page, you can flip-flop, whatever, but join the membership here. Come over here, hit the join button. For some reason, I think it applies to you too, Chico. All Apple users, for some reason, the YouTube app doesn't work. So follow those instructions right there by the producer, LMV. Go through Safari. You can join that way. For some reason, the app and Google don't like each other.
Exactly.
So, or Google and Apple phones don't like each other. And so that's what it is, man. Real quick, I got to get this love and let's kick this deal off. My man, Cuban King. Listen, I always tell the team, right, as we call it, Coach Hayes and the team, all the team members up in this joint, right, the teammates. I always lie to them, bro. Come on here, hey, there's gonna be an hour show, man. That jump be 3-4 hours later, man.
Right.
So anyway,
we're gonna try, guys.
We're gonna try. We set it for an hour and a half, but we're gonna see. I don't know. We getting some kickback on the mic.
Kickback on my mic?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, but like when you move it, it's like a static or something. Yep.
Okay, let me not move at all then.
All right, man. Well, let me kick this off before we get a dono. Shad said, let's see if we can get a score here on execution plus hands to the face. Is a good play. Coach Hayes' voice. Shad. Anyway, let's kick this deal off, man. As you know, we're going to go back, then we're going to go forward. So let's talk about it. Oregon, USC, Chico. I'm sorry, Oregon, USC. CU, all these initials, dog. Colorado, Oregon game. What's your thoughts on it? You know, we had the show before. What's your thoughts on it? As Coach Prime called it, a good old-fashioned butt whipping.
Good old-fashioned butt whipping.
Talk to us.
Those things happen, man, and that's what Coach Prime. That's why Coach Prime came out there and said it's a good old fashioned butt whooping. You don't go in there thinking that you're gonna get a butt whooping. You know, nobody walked in there and said, "Hey, man, we might lose this game today." They said, "No, we're coming in here to win." They went in there with an attitude too that I didn't expect. By them stepping on the O, by them saying, "Oh, this ain't nothing." I saw video footage. I think I sent you a link of Oregon, who dropped their video, Shiloh and a lot of other guys talking smack. But hey, that's what happens on the football field. The thing is, you got Oregon doing what? Dropping videos of the whole thing that went on, right? But they're saying that we're looking for clicks, as in Colorado. They're looking for clicks too. Everybody's looking for clicks. They want clicks. They would love the attention that Coach Prime is getting right now. But apparently, and unfortunately, they're not. They go right back into what they were before Coach Prime came on, and we're on to the next game, which is going to be the highest rated game for this team coming up, even though it's USC, same way it was for Oregon. So looking back to last week, like I said, man, we're moving past that. It happens. It's a butt whooping. We took it on the chin. We tried to find different pieces that can work. You know, you saw a lot of different guys in the game, from young guys, Jeremiah Brown. You saw Savelle Smalls in the game. You saw a lot of different guys into the game that you didn't see before. I think they were just trying to find something that can work, that we can look at on film and be positive about moving into the next game.
All right, well, let's talk about it, man, real quick. Like I said, these donos come up, I'm always kind of find a place and give them their love because they spending their money. Bishop Frank says, let's look into the blueprint. Coach Hayes, V12, Brother Jay Blaze, and Miss Ellen, and Chico, Big Dog Chico. All right, love you, man. Appreciate it. 555. All right. So let's talk about that. You brought it up. Let's talk about the pregame speech. I think this is highly blown out of proportion. I know people don't like that, because of course Coach Dan Lanning says, they playing for clicks, we playing for wins. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know the exact phrase. I should know it as much as it's been played. It's literally Tuesday, and they played the game Saturday, and we still talking about a pregame speech. But anyhow, here's what I'll say about Oregon putting out that video. Of course, no one can deny they're not looking for clicks. Like, I don't think anyone can deny that. Anybody, I don't care what program you look at, right? Maybe except even the NFL, they don't really look at it that way. They may be looking for streams. But however, doggone it, that alert thing, I got to take that off of here. But anyhow,
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's an alert come in when they do the thing. But anyhow, that's my hater alert. Every time they feel like I'm hating, they come on and be like, calm down, Hayes, calm down. But anyway, I will say this, and I'll ask you the same thing, and we can kind of dive into this deal. I think, like everybody says, there was nothing wrong with Coach Dan Lanning's speech, his pregame speech. It was not a personal attack. It was a way to get his team motivated, right? And I'm not here with the buts. See, everybody says, from all the ESPN talking heads and all these sports, Fox 1, nothing really wrong with the speech. But then they go to the but, da-da-da-da-da. I don't see a but. I get a guy that's talking about his team, getting them motivated. We could say he brought the ESPN, but a lot of people are not talking about it. You brought this up. Trevor Woods goes out there stomping and scratching on the U. You see Shiloh come in there, I F y'all up and y'all coach. This is all pregame. So now that happens, right? And we all know that. We all know what it is. We saw Devin Bush go to Michigan State and dig the Spartan head up. And it was a big deal. So we all know that's disrespectful. We saw T.O. run to the star right after he scored. So people know you're there to protect the logo. Yeah, you can walk across it, but you ain't going to spit on it and kick it around. And so therefore, maybe that sparked it. I don't know. However, I'm just going to say this piece, and you can rebut it how you choose. I think because of the loss, this is the media's way of keeping things fiery.
Yeah.
And they're looking for clicks.
Well, at the same time,
it keeps it fiery. It keeps it going. And so therefore, I'm saying I have no problem with Dan Lanning's speech. I have no problem with what he said. He did not attack Coach Prime personally in the sense of like, man, that dude don't know how to coach. He came from here. We gonna no. He said, look, they playing for clicks. We playing for likes. How do you look at that? Likes and wins. I'm sorry, wins and
initially, my view was if you're a player for him, you love it. If you're a player against him, you hate it. You don't want to see it. If you're the coach or whatever, or you might say, man, say what you have to say. You know, I heard LaShawn McCoy say that it was corny. It was corny because it was insecure. It showed his insecurities, and it goes back to what Coach Prime's saying is, don't let my confidence, offend your insecurities. In other words, if you got to come in here and rile your team up by saying stuff about my team, they play for clicks, we play for this, and we play with our pads, and whatever you got to say to get your team up, whatever. But it does show that you know what was coming in there. A team with a bunch of swagger, a team with a bunch of fanfare. Everybody's going to be watching this game. So you don't want to get beat by Coach Prime. You're going to say whatever you have to say. Although, like I said, a lot of people are not going to agree with it. I don't necessarily have a problem with it. Say what you got to say, dog. Say what you got to say. But I do see a side to where people can say he might be insecure. That's why he had to bring that up rather than just saying, hey, dog, we out here, playing ball. It don't matter who the opponent is. You said on your video when you dropped the video, it's Ducks versus them. So it doesn't matter who it is. So why you got to bring up stuff about this team saying, oh, they play for clicks, they do this, they're about the hoopla, they're not playing it, we're not playing in Hollywood. Why bring that up then if you're not?
Bro, because when you give speeches, and you've been around football long enough, The whole part about we're gonna let our past do the talking, I think that's been around since football began.
Yeah.
That is not a new slogan. We're gonna let our past do the talking. He said, if they do the talking, don't talk ish. Let our past do your talking. Let your helmets do the talking.
That's the part that made the viral. That's the part that went viral. It's the click part, the Hollywood.
No, I understand. But again, that's because it was relevant to it. Meaning, and again, how I took it was
playing for clicks. They won't
exactly. But exactly. So what I'm saying is he's talking to me. I took it as he's talking to his kids, dog. We ain't got to do all that. We don't have to do all that. And people can take it how they choose. I think they're taking a little seed and trying to blow it up into something bigger. Because if you go look at
it up by saying that, because technically y'all doing the same thing, it's just not getting a lot of attention, as much as attention. Y'all doing they dropped the video. What else? What different is Colorado doing? People just watching.
I agree with that. I agree. Here's what I'll tell you, Chico. Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say in rebut to that. One, yes, that video was for clicks and likes, but also that video was to show that a lot of people ain't talking about the kicking of the O. Some dude already came here talking about Trevor Woods was just playing, coach. He didn't really mean it. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Come on, Chico. I slap you in your face, and I be like, and I'm laughing. You may not take it. And you said to your own quote, Charlemagne the God said, you may not like it. You can't tell nobody how to respond. That's your quote from last week. And so therefore,
tell them how to respond.
You can't do something to somebody and then tell them how to respond.
Right.
So so with that point, you threaten them when you come out there and say, I F y'all up and y'all coach, and you come out there and that's football talk. Nobody's tripping. I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping on Shiloh. I get it. Yeah. I get it. But that's football talk. But to say clicks and likes, oh, you're trying to do this.
That's not football talk. That's taking it to what they want to personally get. You know what I'm saying? They want to personally get clicks and likes. They don't want to win no games. We're about wins. We're about substance, which means that they're not about substance.
I'll tell you a story. Real quick story.
Coach, not about substance.
No, but that's been their. I think that's been their slogan. Substance. I think it's substance versus. What did he say? Versus. What was it? Substance versus something. Whatever it was. I can't remember to that point. But I'm gonna tell you a real quick story about. I was coaching a team. An affluent team, and they came out. They kicked out behind. They was kicking out behind. We going halftime, right? We playing the code, but they really. It was the same kind of game. We shouldn't be in this game like CSU, right? Halftime speech. I said, listen, guys, let me tell y'all something. This school right here, they're playing for a Letterman jacket. You're playing for a letter of intent. When you get home off this school bus tonight,
I like that.
Yeah, I said, but when you get off this school, I know. Hear me out. Now, when you get off this school bus tonight, these shorties finna go get in their BMW. You finna hop on your BMX. Don't let these people take a dream that they really don't want and that you need. That's the difference. They playing for a Letterman jacket. So the 10-year class reunion, he was the quarterback. Yeah. Your 10-year class reunion, you trying to see him with a gold jacket on. And so with that being said, so now what? Am I picking on them because those kids have money? No, I'm doing what I have to do to get my guys going.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Did I say it's wrong?
No.
But are you a tad bit insecure that these guys have all of this and you have none of it? A little bit. Yeah. And we're gonna go kick their butts because of it. We're gonna go show that we don't need none of that stuff. We don't need. They're playing for Letterman jackets. We're playing for letters of intent. We need this. You're gonna find a way to compare and contrast it and make it kind of go against each other.
And at the end of the day, the truest statement ever said by any coach anywhere in this country is this thing gonna be played on the grass, not anywhere else. It's gonna be it's just like boxing. That face-to-face off, and you might have a better comebacks. Well, guess what?
Once that bell ring, once you're inside that squared circle, Bob,
it's over. Ask Floyd Mayweather. He talked that trash and he backed it up.
Straight up.
And if he didn't, he had to shut up. All right, man. We can push on a little bit. We got 407 people on this side. What you got on your side, baby?
Oh man, where we at on this side, guys? Let me know somebody. Where we at? 200. As always, you had like 400. If you're at like 400, I'm usually at like 200, right around it.
All right,
a little bit double, and then I was usually pop up by halftime and going towards the end. We usually get about 300 to 400 at least.
Yeah. So let's push on, man. Like I said, that was my take on it. When I look at the whole thing about Dan, that whole comment, and I think people are blowing this way out. Like I said, today is Tuesday, and they're still on Undisputed talking about this, dog.
Right.
Because I think because of the loss and how the loss was, they don't want to talk the football part. They want to talk the perimeter crap. They want to talk about all the other stuff that's going on around the game besides the actual game to keep the hype going so they can get clicks and likes. Now let's push on to Keyshawn talking about clicks and likes. Keyshawn Johnson, your audio's out, bro. Your audio's out. I'm not sure what happened, but anyway, I'm gonna keep chopping, man. I'm gonna keep chopping until he come back on. But anyhow, he'll be back here in a second. Keyshawn Johnson, hopefully he can still hear me, but we kind of had a talk about this. Somebody say I'm bitter. I'm not bitter. All right, I'll go through some of these chats. Marie says, Coach Hayes aims bitter. No, I'm not bitter. With football, we're talking about football stuff for 4 days. I would rather talk about, like I said, what are we talking about here, dog? That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. I'm going to get to the skip part where they talk about try to embarrass him and this, that, and the other. I'm trying to see what Chico, he'll be back in a second again. Apparently having some technical difficulties. However, he's talking about clicks and like. Let me see. I got Chico not coming back. All right, you good? Say something. You can hear me? You can't hear me? That's on your side. Anyway, let me know you guys can still hear me in the chat. Everything looks good, sounds good. There it is. Coach Hayes sounds bitter. We enjoy hearing about CEO Undisputed. No, I understand that. But what I'm saying is they didn't even talk this much about Jay Norville, who they took and said he talked about his mama. They didn't talk about that much. Why? Because Colorado won the game. I don't even understand why this is a major talking point. Like we are literally into day 3 of this deal, and they're still talking about it. All right, appreciate it. You guys can hear me, but they can't hear Chico. Thank you, Girls Club. Appreciate it. Thanks, IMAX. Okay. Anyhow, Chico will be back, so don't leave. He'll be okay. All right. Oh, it's something about these ladies, boy. Y'all ladies don't like me, boy, and I understand. I understand, ladies. I don't know who this is. I'm a PO, I guess. Coach Hayes, you never supported Deion. I remember when he was leaving HBC, which is a HBCU, right? That's what we call it, HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. And all you did was hate him. No, maybe you didn't watch all the videos. But I understand. Anyway, also, when we talk about clicks and likes, I just call this a spade a spade. When Coach Prime does his media presser in the middle of the week, he goes up and reads how many views, and it's nothing, I want to be clear, it's nothing wrong with that. But he talks about how many people streamed it, the ratings, and so forth and so on, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But everybody's vowing for clicks and likes. That's the way of the world. Everybody's looking for viewership. Everybody's looking for TV ratings, right? That's the way of the world. So, again, I think, to me, it's like arguing at a wall. I appreciate that, the GOAT. And that's coming from Chico's side. Coach Hayes calling it like it is telling hard truths. I'm just it's not hard truths. These are just basic like things, dog. And I'm gonna go ahead and go as we wait for Chico to come back. I'm gonna go ahead and go to this part where where Skip and those guys were talking about they were trying to embarrass them? I don't think so. I'm gonna tell you why. I think in the first half they definitely wanted to make sure. But bro, they pulled up. They pulled up. They pulled up. They scored 7 points in the second half. Took Bo Nix out the game in the fourth quarter. And when they scored, it was 9 minutes in the third quarter. 9 minutes in the third quarter. So Bo didn't even play the entire, like, bro, they scored 35 points in the half and scored 7 in the second half. But again, Skip Bayless and those guys are looking to try to get it going. I get it. I totally understand that. Let me see. I got Chico rocking back here again. Let's see if he's good to go. All right, Chico, talk to us. You good now?
Yeah, sorry for the delay, man. Sorry for the delay.
It's all good. I know you had to get an A. That's how fast that Amazon is, boy. You put it in on Amazon, that new cord came to the door immediately.
Right.
But anyway, I was just simply talking about I'm gonna give you your love. This is your dono here. If you'd like to read it, more than welcome. Go ahead.
All right, cool. Shout out to East Coast Kev said, I'm not mad at Coach Lanning for pregame speech. Colorado was thumping on the Oregon logo. If I was Oregon, I would have ran the scoreboard up on them. Never to out starters, still love childhood hero. I think also, I think the defense kind of came back and made, because they could have ran the score up if they wanted to, but maybe the defense came back and made an adjustment in the second half to kind of hold them from scoring. What did they score? 7 points? Yeah, in the second half. You think that was more Oregon or the adjustments that was made by Colorado and Coach Kelly?
I think it was adjustments made, but I think Oregon's talent went down because they were taking people out. They were taking guys out the game. Bo Nix didn't play the whole set. He didn't play. They scored that one touchdown and they took him out. And Ty Simpson came in. I believe that's his name. He came in. He played the remainder of the game. This top dude. They already lost their second team running back. Whittingham, I think his name is.
Yeah, so he got a leg injury or something like that.
Yeah, ankle. I think ankle.
Like
so they were like, listen, they didn't want trying to do it. And like I said, we can go into that piece about, they went for the punt fake and they went for two, but like they said, that's something they've done all season.
Yeah,
but it's also in the rule book. It's the first quarter. They weren't going to let them come back, because you saw that. That's one thing I'll say. Colorado, you mess around, they'll come back and get you. So if you're gonna kill them all the way. Don't sing the song, hey, I shot the sheriff but forgot his son.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Never looked at it like that.
Hey, you got to be able to put them out. But anyway, go ahead.
I think they did make some adjustments in the second half. Hopefully they went and looked at the film and found something that they can build off of for this game coming up at USC. Hopefully they were able to look at some players and said, this guy can really help us in this position. He did well doing this in his time in there. I think a guy like Jujuwan Mitchell, who came in after the TCU game and now leading the team in tackles at middle linebacker. I saw him splitting some time with some other linebackers. Maybe he is just the guy, and maybe they have to find the guys in front of him to really play well up front and get in the backfield, get some penetration. I think they're lacking that right now as far as consistency, as far as a group that's going to be consistent up front. As soon as they find those guys, whether the film show it, whether they got to go through another game, whatever it is, they have to find that group of guys who's going to work well together, because everybody, it's still a team game and you got to work well together. You know what I'm saying? So once they find that group, hopefully it was something to do with the second half and not just the talent level of Oregon dropping off. Hopefully they have a formula from that second half to where they can go into the USC game and feel good about starting off, especially on defense, offense, and special teams, all phases of the game.
But let's talk about, I want to finish this up before we move on to USC as we do this segment. As before your audio was going out, Keyshawn Johnson brings up the thing about the playbook. Right? Now, I get it. On clicks and likes as well. Boom, that's new information. But you and I both saw, we talked about, Coach Prime clearly said, and I'll let you go ahead and quote it. What did he say?
Oh, you mean when talked about, so Keyshawn basically said that a lot of coaches got together kind of like a conspiracy to make sure that they beat Coach Prime. So they all came and got with the coaches from Oregon and gave them the game plan, quote unquote, to beat Coach Prime and them. And Coach Prime said, "Dog, when asked about the coaches coming together for a game plan, he said, "Dog, that's normal. That's normal." And meaning that all coaches, for one, coaches are still people, and they are very connected. One coach might be at this other school, but he has connections with his former assistant coach that's still at the school that he just left. So they're going to communicate, and they're going to talk and trade ideas, usually about the team that they just played and the team that's coming up. Now, did Oregon possibly have a whole, as my grandmother would say, a whole heap of phone calls coming in trying to help them beat Coach Prime and them? Maybe so. But like Coach Prime said, that's neither here nor there, meaning that neither hurt us anymore or helped us anymore by more coaches calling them to give them their intel on us. So that's normal.
And I'll say this, because there's another piece of the quote that you left out there.
Okay.
We call for information as well.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's normal.
I want to make sure we quoted that Coach Prime said that's ordinary. He said, but look, dog, we call for information as well.
Yeah.
And that's the part of coaching. Like, for Keyshawn to bring that up, one, that right there is another way to keep the fire rolling. I got to get 7 days worth of content until I can get
maybe start another story on his part, kind of. But at the same time, still, he said that it came from his source on the inside. So maybe his source was trying to say that, dog, everybody is calling us trying to give us intel on how to beat Coach Prime. This usually doesn't happen.
I could agree with that, but that's not how he portrayed. He portrayed it as if it was some inside stuff. And see, that's what I'm saying. Context matters. He tried, and this is what I love about Coach Prime. He gonna tell the truth. Yeah. He didn't have to say that's ordinary. He didn't have to say we call for it either, right? He didn't have, but he did, because he understands this process. He understands this game. And this is what I'm trying to tell people to understand about this. That's why if you look at what Coach Prime says, if you wait a couple days, it's gonna come out. He's gonna tell it. But guess what? Everybody wants to rah. And Coach Prime is not telling y'all to rah. Sit and listen. And that's why I said, for Keyshawn's part, they're trying to fill 7 days of content to get you to next Saturday because of the kind of game it was. And they don't want to keep talking about how bad it was, because it was bad. Even to Coach Prime's point, it was atrocious. We got to fix it. We got to do those things. But I want to push on, because we already had 32 minutes and time go fast. I want to say this. Kamani McLean, we talked about him last week. And a reporter asked him, hey, basically why he's not playing. I'm paraphrasing this a little bit. However, I'm sorry, Ms. Hillsman, Mr. Hillsman, excuse me. I'll give you 1 second. I want to finish this point. He said he was asked about Kamani, and he basically came back and said it's Kamani's fault. A reporter just today follows up and asked him, can you please elaborate? And these are the things that Coach Prime said. And when I said that, when coaches talk a certain way, he kind of insinuated a couple of things. And you correct me if I'm wrong if I didn't say some of these things on this list. He's got to correct me if I'm wrong now.
Yeah.
He's got to come to meetings on time, or at all, meaning he's missing meetings. He's got to study film. He's off time. On his own time, he got to watch film, because I look to see how long they're watching film. He's got to be prepared. He has to understand the scheme.
Well, that's for every player
Chico,
who doesn't listen. Let me finish. For every player who doesn't know, and anybody out there who doesn't know, he's gonna do this.
No new taxes.
For every player who doesn't know, any person out there who doesn't know, Coach Prime and the coaching staff have these laptops or this database where you got to log in to watch film. Coach is huge on watching film. You're not trying to get better if you're not watching any film. So he's trying to tell these players, especially the young guys who might be coming from a situation where they didn't watch any film, right? He's trying to explain to them and show them the importance of getting in the film room, watching film, learning what to do, tendencies of other players and other teams, and the schemes that we are playing. You have to learn these things to be able to get on the field. You're just not going to get on the field because of your name or whatever athletic ability you have. Not saying that that's what Kamani is thinking, but in general, Coach Prime is saying these things. And on any coach's list is you got to go to treatment, you got to go to class, you got to go to meeting, and all of those things. So Kamani had to be not doing one of these things or a lot of them, and which is what Coach Prime has just laid out for us on a platter, saying, and that main thing is you got to get in the you got to be in the meetings, and you got to get in the film room. You got to get in your playbook, and if that's a problem, then it'll be a problem no matter where you go to, because you got to do those same things at any school you go to.
And I agree. And I'll say this, unless there's something else you want to talk about. Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Hillsman, this is your dono for the $5. Says, bro, don't y'all start doing what y'all saying they doing. Keyshawn said the AC assistant coach told him frequency increase, not the act itself. Okay, you're right, bro. I don't know if you want to respond to that.
Well, that's exactly what I said, right? Keyshawn said the AC told him that the frequency increased is what he said. That's what I said earlier. That all he probably could say was, hey, dog, Keyshawn, everybody is calling us way more than, this was a regular game. We got, we got double the schools calling us and coaches calling us now, trying to give us information on Coach Prime.
Okay. Yep. Let me ask you. Well, you can ask me questions, bro. It's not my show. This is our show.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I will say this though, as far as Kamani McLean, I'll ask you this: being a South Florida guy and him coming from down there, and flipping from Miami to Colorado, do you think it's an issue that he's not playing right now? Do you think he should be playing despite maybe missing practices or missing film? What do you think about that?
Okay, here's what I will say. And this is straight speculation, but sometimes breadcrumbs lead you to the ending. He has probably, again, this is straight speculation. He's probably been a kid that's been handed a lot of things from his coaches, done what he want, probably wasn't, I don't know, just, this is nothing new, right?
Yeah.
And my dog V12 always say, your past behavior can predict your future behavior.
Right.
He's been doing this stuff. And here's a perfect prime example. Again, straight speculation. In today's era of kids going to school early in January, this kid doesn't get to campus until 2 weeks before camp because what? He had to graduate high school, bro. What is that telling you? That's telling you he's been doing whatever he wants to do. He the baddest dude on the football field, and a shame on his high school coaches for allowing him to do whatever he wanted to do. A shame on community and everything else, because now, as I always say, the weaknesses that you have may not always show, but when they rear their head, it could be detrimental. And that's exactly what's happening to this young man. In the era where everybody goes to school, the majority of these kids sign in January. Why do you think they move to signing day? This kid graduates at the end of July to get to college. That tells you something without telling you the exact story.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't want to guess on that end of it, because you know what I mean. Like I said, it's a young man.
I'm not knocking him. I'm just telling you what it is. That's what happened.
Yeah, breadcrumbs could lead you there, like you said, but I still think he has the chance to amend those things, get better.
Of course,
learn
he can.
how to watch film, learn, how to study, how to get better, what to do, just different tendencies, get around the right crowd. It's so easy to go to school and get around the wrong crowd just because, not saying that's what happened, but I'm just saying, it's so easy to get around the wrong crowd, get around the people. Oh, these people are not going to push me as much as if I hung around those folks. I'm going to hang around these people. It's just different.
Right. Well, the thing is, Chico, I was answering your question. Your question was, do you think he should be playing? And I simply said no, because he's not doing, and all people know, Coach Prime, I don't know all 5 of the things, but character, talent, whatever, with character. He always ends off with character. And if you're not following those particular rules, if you sat your own son down in a championship game, why wouldn't you send Kamani McLean down for not following team rules and doing the things in sense? So that's all I want to say on that.
No, I feel you on that, and you're exactly right on that end, especially from a coach's perspective, from a parent or in a young kid perspective who's been there. I don't think is anything malicious. It might just be things of immaturity and learning, and I think eventually he'll be able to grow into the player that he can be. I think that it could start with this game, given the opportunities and given the fact that he might have heard what Coach Prime said. He should be in the playbook right now. I'll have my computer open right now, watching it or not. You'll think I've been on
I
film.
will be at Coach Prime house sitting on his couch.
Exactly. That's another thing too. Like if I'm a player for Coach Prime, especially if he picked me, he gonna have to get rid of me, dog. You know what I'm saying? It seems like Kamani might be a little bit shy, a little bit on the end of not talking too much. But at the end of the day, I'd be in his office. I'd be in his ear. I'd be talking to him instead of hanging around these other kids and freshmen, because if you really look at it, a guy like Dylan Edwards and then versus a guy like Kamani who came in later, Dylan is almost like not even a freshman anymore after going through that spring, and getting that weight program in the summer. The true freshmen are the guys who came in like Kamani. Dylan is like a super freshman or a spring freshman or something,
Right.
So it's a difference in guys.
He already got a whole semester and a summer of college in him, and they're in the same class. Right. And so that's the deal. I'll say this about Kamani. I don't know if he got an NIL deal or not, but if I did, I would take a little bit of that money and I would create a sub NIL deal with one of my teammates. And part of your responsibility help keep me on track, dog. No, sometimes you need help. I'm just calling it what it is, bro.
Let's get a personal trainer out there, get a mentor or somebody. I'm sure there's somebody around the team, like Coach Chaney, who's from South Florida, and other younger guys around the team. Yeah. But if you had to hire somebody like Coach Prime has those guys that's always around him and they're hired to do that job, make sure nobody touches him, nobody steps on his toe incidentally. Get from around the man, Same thing with Kamani. Make sure that somebody is there who might have been to college before, been through this situation. Hey man, it's time to get up. Hey man, right. Hey man, you need to eat this smoothie. Gain this weight. We're gonna do this extra work after practice. You have nothing else to do but get better.
But like I say, because again, he says comes late to meetings if he comes at all. That's right there.
That's what the mentor is for.
Yeah, that's damning, dog. That's damning.
You got Chico there, right? I'm just saying me. Or it could be Derek.
I get it.
With the Nichols Valley State, right? But he's responsible. You know what I mean? And he's there for that job. Hey, man, get up. We have practice and we have a meeting at this time. Make sure you're there early. Matter of fact, we already been worked out. We won't coach them to see you. When they come in, they see you sweating already. It's a mentality. It's a whole different process than I'm staying in bed as long as I can, hitting the snooze button 3 or 4 times, and then getting up in there.
I agree. Real quick, Tihan says, Coach, why not give him extra help if you know he has learning challenges? I can't speak to his learning abilities. I don't know about his. I don't know if he has any learning issues. I don't think that's ever been put out. Maybe you're responding to something in the chat, but in regards to learning disabilities, I can't speak to that, but I will say this as that's what I do for a living. Schools have that. If he has an IEP, that carries over in the college, and the college is obligated by federal law to accommodate him. That's all I will speak on. I can't speak if he has any or not. That I'm talking about being in a meeting on time. I'm talking about being there, studying film, and so forth. So I can't speak to that piece. Right. Let's push on. Anything you want to say in regards to Oregon as we close this chapter of the Prime era? And
more power to Oregon, man. Hopefully they fulfill all their dreams and accomplishments this year. Real talk, though, I think Dan Lanning is a good coach. I don't think any ill will towards him. If there's any spite that he did try to speak and bring out and show towards Coach Prime and them, hopefully they don't meet down the line, because like Coach Prime say, dog, you better get me now, because this is the worst we're going to be. And I feel him on that, but much respect.
I love that. I say the same thing. I love that quote. Like when I got this job up here, if y'all whip me, you better whip me now.
You better get me now.
When I come back around, boy, I'm telling you, I'm trying to, and see, I'm gonna tell you this. I tell everybody, boy, I'm like school on Saturday. I got no class. I'm trying to knock the bulbs out the scoreboard. Bro, I'm telling you, listen, you know how many principals around here used to write letters on me? Because those same schools used to drop 70 burgers on this school. And then when we get a chance to do it, guess what? I ain't lighting the scoreboard up. It's already lit up. I'm trying to knock the bulbs out. That's some anyway. That's what I'm saying. Anything else I'm trying to think as we go ahead and talk about this? Let's kind of segue into some stuff.
Yeah, we can go into I guess a little bit of USC and what we'll be seeing coming up with Sheduer Sanders versus Caleb Williams. Coach Prime did make a comment about Coach Lincoln Riley for USC, but it wasn't anything malicious or it was normal. Coach Prime and what he normally does. What did he say? Love and respect and appreciate for Lincoln Riley. That's what Coach Prime said. He said the guy is top tier of the coaching in coaching right now in college football. So nothing but respect for Coach Prime or Coach Lincoln Riley from Coach Prime. Usually what he does shows respect to the coaches. I think it's going to be a good ball game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like we saw Oregon. I think USC should come in with that mindset, though, of we should do the same thing that Oregon did. I think they're thinking that we should do the same thing that Oregon did. And anybody on Colorado's squad, especially the defensive side, should have the attitude of what happened last week. I don't care who. They can bring the Dallas Cowboys in here this week. We can't let that happen this week. We got to play with a whole different attitude and a different mindset of stopping the run. And USC got some boys back there that they're going to have.
Some dog. Listen, so you bring in a great point, right? We talked about this before. And I think you bring in a great way to a player should look at things, right? What happened to us last week can't happen to us this week. However, we have seen the same story, and because it's Colorado, the prime debate, we're talking Colorado side. We've seen this story for now 4 weeks. We've seen the run game. We've seen over 200 yards out of the 3 of the 4 games. I think Nebraska had like 106 or some yards like that. In that sense. Here's, I guess, the question, and everybody, and I guess you will agree with this, that the trenches are the biggest issue, I guess, for Colorado as of right now. Would you agree or disagree with that point?
I plead the field. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, of course. The trenches are the problem right now.
Okay. No new taxes. All right.
Everything is the problem. But if you want to just pinpoint one,
hold on, Chico.
Everything is the problem right now. What I mean is, nothing went right that last game. Now you're talking about the last 4, all of the games.
If you had to combine them all together, you would say the trenches would. Yeah,
you would say, the trenches are what a lot of people are harping on, saying that either the offensive line doesn't have enough depth, or they're not big and strong enough. The defensive line is not coming off blocks. I will say this about some of the defensive line play that I've seen. You got to get off those blocks, man. You got a lot of guys that's just being attracted to the blocks and
pushing the sled,
not defeating the blocks. You're trying to eat the blocks, but you're not defeating the blocks. You got to get up off them things, man, and learn and find a way to make a play. Not be a magnet to a blocker. Find the football. Everybody need to be running to the ball, showing more effort doing that also. I see once a guy break through a big hole, gaping hole, it just seemed like nobody's chasing him either. So I want to see effort on the defensive side of the ball. I need to see a lot of people around the ball on ball carriers. You know what I'm saying? I need to see guys around the ball.
Yeah, and so now I'm saying all that because I wanted to ask that piece, so I didn't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah.
So I say that back to my thing, right? Things that show, even though you may win a game, weaknesses show, and eventually they rear their head. That's exactly what happened in Oregon. We've seen crossing routes. We know that's an issue from a pass standpoint. I think that's the deadliest scheme towards Colorado and the run game. Right now, those two things hurt Colorado's defense. Offensively, I brought it up before, sacks. I don't care how he's getting sacked. Like Coach Prime said in his presser, whether it is Sheduer holding the ball, the blocking, or the routes not getting open. At the end of the day, number 2 is on the ball on the ground with the ball in his hand. They have to fix that. And the second piece is, as they asked him in his presser, do you think your team is one-dimensional? And, of course, Prime in his own way basically said, look, dog, we got to run the ball. But however, if we ain't committed to it, we can't commit to something that we haven't done yet. In his own way about his wife, the wife cooking and so forth.
That's like asking your wife to commit to cooking a meal and she can't even cook.
Correct. So my question, I guess, or the question I really want to truly ask, however, if we've seen those same things from TCU to Nebraska, to Colorado State, to Oregon.
Yeah.
And every week, everybody said they're going to change, and they haven't. I'm just asking an open question here. What makes people think, or you, Chico, think that it's going to change this week, week 5?
Well, listen, every week you go into, you're going to have to think, how can we get better, right? And you have to look at the film from the past week and say, what can we build off of? And what I'm saying from the Oregon game, it might be absolutely nothing. But what I saw in the fourth quarter.
Hold on, Chico, this stuff costs too much, dog. I almost put over on all this electronics, man. I wasn't expecting that out of you, dog. Hey, that thumb getting a little bit shorter. That politician stuff getting a little shorter here, dog. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I wasn't expecting that, dog. Go ahead.
Listen, man. Listen. Understand what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Listen, if they can look at the film and find the positiveness from that, right? Positive plays from that, and personnel, right? No, I'm not saying build off a blowout. I'm talking about what they did was, and y'all got to look at the game closely. Y'all just looking at the whole game and saying it was a blowout. When it happens, when blowouts happen, right? You know, in the first half, basically, damn, this game damn near over, or it is over. Really, it's 35-0. It's really over, right? You go in the locker room and Coach Prime damn near say this right here, dog. Who wants to play, man? Because the guys I got out there right now are not playing. And it's going to be somebody in the locker room say, me, coach. Me, coach. It might be the dude that you know can't play. Well, get in there anyway. At least he said he want to play. He got the attitude of. In other words, a lot of y'all guys not even showing the attitude, dog. I need at least the attitude, to want to play ball. Y'all not even wanting to play ball. So you saw a lot of guys go in there playing that second half who usually you didn't see play in those first 3 games. Why? They trying to see, can we find something for the next game? Because we need to find somebody. We can't go in the next game with the same thing that we came in this game with. It's not going to work. We see that. So we got a whole roster on the bench, of guys that really didn't play. We got 5-star Savelle Smalls over there on the bench that really didn't play the first 3 games. Man, get in there the second half. Let's see what you can do. There's something on the film that they've looked at, that they have found, I'm sure, and that they got to have some type of confidence in going into the USC game and saying, okay, coach, they're not saying we're going to go in here with the same guys and, we're going to get smacked again. No, they're saying, okay, coach, maybe I can move Shane to the outside. I'm going to move Derek only on third downs. I'm going to bring in him on this play. Maybe these guys work well together in the past game, in the Oregon game in the fourth quarter. This unit worked well together right here. It might be a guy that was on the third team, that guy on the first team, he's on the second team, but now you put them together and they work well. It's still a football game. It's still everybody got to work and be on the same page, and that's what we're looking for. If I'm Coach Kelly going into this game, I'm finding something positive from the Oregon second half, which we only gave up 7 points for whatever reason. We only gave up 7 points. Somebody played well somewhere. That's who's going to be playing versus USC. And now we're going into it with a positive outlook. That's what I'm saying, dog.
Yeah, okay. I'm cool with the positive outlook, but let's talk football. I want to talk reality here, right?
Football, that's reality.
No. That's what. No.
If you,
but that's what coaches do. That's what Coach Prime. That's what he's supposed to do. That's what he's supposed to do. But I want to say, in the sense of, and a lot of people forget about, I always call it the 33% of victory. which is special team. If they can't get the doggone field goal, bro, what is up with the field goal situation here?
Well, I said that live. You know, you got to find a way to fix that. That should be like breathing air. That should be 99.9% of the time. Nobody should be touching the football from a kicker's foot. How does that happen?
On extra points, especially. Yeah.
On extra points, especially 3 times out of a whole year. If that happens on all of the field goals and extra points you take, I'm having a meeting with my special teams coach to say, man, what the hell is going on? How we getting penetration on point after attempt? How does that happen? You can hit them with the where they do that at then. Where they do that at for real. If I'm
apparently they do it in Eugene, Oregon, because that's where they did it at.
They've been doing it though since the spring. They've been giving up PAT field goal blocks and stuff like that. So, you know.
So my question is, and I think the biggest problem is, where do we need to put the duct tape? No pun intended. But where do we need to put the duct tape to fix this until we can get it to the mechanic, which is recruiting, transfer portal at the end of the year? How do we? What do we need to fix? A carburetor? Is the radiator hose leaking? Like, I guess that's the issue.
Coming out of that game, you need an alternator. You need your brake light on, your engine light on, your mileage high. That mug smoking. You don't know where to go first. You know, but you know you got to go somewhere. So you go to Johnny down the street who could fix everything. Who got the black hands, cigarette hanging out of his mouth. You know what I mean? Gonna charge about $90 for everything.
Well, I don't know your carburetor, but the carburetor, I want the carburetor leak.
$90. So you go down there to him and you tell him, listen, man, you make a deal with him. You say I need this fixed, and you find a way to get it fixed. But real talk,
that boy put a Volkswagen carburetor in the doggone Chevy, dog. Hey,
real talk though, you got to go in and meet us as a coaching staff and say, guys, I know y'all, or at least you say, guys, we're going to have a meeting. Y'all come in with grades on each and every one of your players. And all the guys that we don't know about, we need to start giving some guys a chance that show some flashes on in practice or somewhere. Because we got to find guys that's going to make plays, man. That's just
all right, listen, Chico, Cuban Kane was right. We already out in it. We ain't really even got the USC yet, but we riding. This is your $5 from Mr. Hillsman. NFL 2022, 4.5 yards per carry. The top NFL running back, 2022, 4.9 yards per carry. Hankinson and Edwards, 4.2 yards per carry. Put Wilkinson in the smoke in and run 2 runs, get you to the third and short. All right, appreciate it. And I will want to, if you don't mind, I'd like to talk about that as we go into the keys of next week game.
Yeah.
I think that's a great way to lead into it. Thank you, Mr. Hillsman. I'm gonna ask myself the question, then you can respond. What does Colorado need to do to win offensively? Let's just talk offensively, and then we can break down USC. Win first down. I'm glad you said that. They have to win first downs. You have to get it to 2nd and 7 or less. And you can't take the sacks to make it 3rd and 17. That's how you end up looking one-dimensional. Because now, as we all know, 3rd and 17, you're going to either run that thing like that. Now, I don't think anybody's scared of run game. You're going to throw that doggone tunnel screen.
Yeah.
Or you're going to try to get it down the field and you're worried about a sack. So I think they have to worry about managing first downs is huge. And then the third thing is find a way to protect 2. If he's standing up, you have a chance. I'll just be honest. And the third thing, you got to get creative in your run game. Inside, outside zone, just straight up blocking is not going to work right now. And those are my 3 offensive keys to the game. What's yours?
Well, I think what they need to do is get creative. Get a lot more creative on offense. That means motions, jet sweeps, misdirections. You know what I mean? A lot of RPOs, though, because that has been successful for them. First down, in any situation, you want to average that 3.9, 4 yards per carry. If they can do that and be right exactly where they want to be as far as running the ball, but you have to get creative by doing it. You can use these jet sweep motions and run the ball right up the middle. At least you get the defense guessing or on their heels or having to defend something else. You have all this speed, but you're just doing it. It's looking, like you said, it's looking like you're one-dimensional, meaning that defense mindset now is I could just pin my ears back and get after the quarterback. Only thing we might have to worry about is a little screen, like you said. If I could just get after the quarterback, then I'm comfortable as a defensive lineman, as opposed to a team that's really running the ball, right? I got to try to play the run and the pass. So, I mean, I think the key is to control the line of scrimmage when they can, but it has to be deception on the offensive side of the ball to kind of even the playing field. Because if you just try to go mano a mano, traditionally with USC, you shouldn't even compete traditionally with the USC in this situation right here. Coming from 1-11, rebuilding the team with number of transfers. On paper, you shouldn't be as deep as USC. So I think you have to be creative, coming with something different than what they've seen on film this whole time.
Yeah, listen, I agree. You know, you can't just be vanilla on this deal and think you're gonna walk through these guys. You see up front right now, I mean, they beating Tank like a drum. He's 78 Washington. They beating him like a tambourine. 55 Van Wells. They beating him like a doggone tenor drum. It's just what it is up front.
Music? That's a new band?
Hey, yeah, they call the Boofs. Coming to the stage, the Boofs.
Hey, y'all hear them talking? Y'all hear Coach Hayes talking smack about y'all old line, right? Y'all hearing my big boy?
I'm not talking smack. I'm looking at the footage, and I'm just seeing what I'm seeing, bro. That's all I'm telling you. Yeah, somebody getting Peter roll. There you go, Shad. That's one of my Peter roll. But anyway, I mean, that's how I look at it. Now, I will say this offensively as well. I left this piece out. They have to do better. And somebody brought this up in the press conference about protection. And the guy was talking about 12 personnel left. And Prime said, man, you're getting too technical there. I'm not saying Coach Prime didn't know what he was saying. I like the fact he stopped him because some of the viewers may not know what that means. So I appreciate Coach Prime for doing that.
Yeah.
But I do think they need to get into some 11 and 21 personnel, some old schools, because here's what I think. And Prime said, well, you start getting double team. Well, however, at least 2 is standing up. You got a chance to beat him. Well, because if he's under duress, it goes to show.
Here's my analysis from last game as far as offensive line picking up blitzes and stuff like that. I think that they got totally confused. They got totally outplayed up front as far as scheme goes. All right. As far as showing blitzes, showing 7 guys coming, but only bringing 5 guys. And now the offensive line is confused. Now those tackles are doubling on the inside guys instead of picking up the outside blitzers that's coming. Now they just did an excellent job from what I saw, from showing guys at the line of scrimmage and at the snap, dropping guys that you think coming and bringing the other 2 guys from the outside or the inside. And then in essence, you only bring in 5 guys, which should be picked up by the 5 offensive linemen. Running back could be free to go out. But what they did was the running back stayed in because he misread, right? Running back stays in. The offensive lineman blocked the wrong guy. So you got 5 offensive linemen blocking 3 rushers now. You know? That's what I'm saying.
How about the play action? He play action right to the blitzing linebacker. The running back doesn't go in the block.
There's no play action though when you have no run. You know?
No, but right. But what I'm saying is, even when you play action perfectly right to the blitzing linebacker, he should eat him up. I saw the running back get skinny.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like, what you doing, bro? But anyway, you want to give some love. You got 2 members here, so if you want to give your love out to us.
Brenda Lau became a YouTube member. She's now an official Big Dog. Now to you. I appreciate it, Brenda Lau. And longtime member Debbie Garcia. You just became, maybe she rejoined or something like that. But I know Debbie been in the chat for a long time. Appreciate you, Debbie Garcia, and everybody else out there.
I'm jealous now. Where my members at? I'm just playing. I appreciate y'all. Now that's good stuff, Chico. Keep it going. All right. So shout out to those members. One of our favorite guys. Look at my man Carpet Tech in the building. But anyway, appreciate you. Carpet Tech. Anyway, appreciate you. We got 606 people in the building on this side of the screen. I'm not sure what you got on your side of the screen.
We just at, if I refresh, we at what, 293 over here?
All right, just about 900. Let's get 1,000 in here, y'all. Go, hey, Your daughter got a cell phone. I know she about 5. Go put it on YouTube. Tell her to watch Coach Hayes and Big Dog Chico.
Put the TV on. Put all the devices you got on. Put them on YouTube. Put them on us right now. Search Coach Hayes. Search Big Dog Chico in there, and put them things right now. Run them up one time. We got 427 people up in here. Oh, well, I'm looking at the right one. Yeah, 427 people. That was just in. Now we got 295 watching. That's the one going on right now. 295 watching.
All right, cool. So basically 300, 600, 900. Let's get this thing to a stack, man. Come on. Come on. All right, here we go. USC Coach Prime gave a lot of love to Caleb Williams and his ability and so forth and so on. I think it's undeniable. I know some people like to say he's trash, and I get it. Whatever, let that ride.
Caleb?
However, oh, golly, bro. I'm telling you, y'all don't be in a lot of these chats. I know we getting this new thing on. This our second show, but trust me, bro. Trust me. Bro. Oh, Caleb, listen. Caleb only throws the ball because he scrambles. Trust me, I done heard all that stuff. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Caleb Williams, like I said, is the Heisman right now. I believe his only, as of right now, his only fear, and we'll talk about Sheduer getting in his race, is Michael Penix Jr. from Washington right now. I think those two are neck and neck when it comes to it. But Caleb Williams is good in that sense. What do you think about Caleb Williams? And then I'll ask you part 2 is, what do you think about Sheduer in the Heisman race? What will this game do for him getting back, maybe back in it?
It's time to run them likes up. So as far as Caleb Williams in the Heisman race, I think he's right there at the top now, along with Penix Jr. Of course, I think he's a great player, like Coach Prime said. Right, if I quote him right here, he makes plays and deserves the Heisman last year. Definitely deserved the Heisman last year. I think him going into this game versus Colorado, though, coming off the game versus Arizona State, he's right where he want to be at, as far as the Heisman goes. Sheduer wanted to be, I guess, coming from that Oregon game. Of course, he wanted to be a lot better. Whether a win or not, he wanted to have probably over 350 yards passing that game. Ended up with less than that. But Caleb's coming in playing Caleb Williams football. What can we do to stop him is get a pass rush on him, make him scramble too much. Although when he scrambles, it seems like he's like Patrick Mahomes. He's just as good, if not better. He can do some amazing things outside the pocket. So you want to corral him, or you want to make him run outside the pocket and try to make mistakes. Who knows? Best thing to do, though, is try to keep the ball out of his hands by controlling the game on our end on the run with the run game. Alton McCaskill, hopefully he'll come back this week. You can use a tight end or H-back back there to help with the protection and the run blocking. But you got to keep the ball out of Caleb Williams' hands, same way Oregon did with Sheduer Sanders last week.
And it's funny you say that, right? Because that's what I was going to say. It has to be the same game plan.
Yeah.
If USC looks in, again, regardless of how good you are, I hear music playing. You got music playing?
Actually, I do. That was that run the mic. My bad.
Well, I'm telling you, hey, these big old things work, boy. I know I can hear. I'm like, I hear music. I kept checking. I'm like, I was making sure that was you. Anyway, they have the same, to me, they both should come in with the same philosophy. Not necessarily game, but the philosophy is keep 2 off the field, keep 13 off the field.
Yep.
Right? And how do you do that? You got to keep each other's offense on the field. Right. Yeah. But you got to keep each other's offense on the field. So the philosophy, more or less than the game plan, but the philosophy is keep the guys that can hurt you off the field. Now, as you see, you run the ball and stuff, the clock is continue to run. As I talked about that, not to go back to the Oregon days, but we looked at time of possession with Oregon. What was it? 24 minutes to 5 minutes or something, some crazy number at the half. It was something
like 24-9. It was double, more than double at the half, something like that. 24-23-9.
Something like that. Yeah, it was something crazy. Kept him off the field because he can't hurt you if he's not on the field. And when he's on the field, guess what? And guess what else? Our defense is rested. We can give you 1,000% effort. We going for it. We ain't at a 3 and out.
Right.
So I say all that to say that. And yes, to Marie, trust me. I can tell them in the chat right now. Put a thumbs up if somebody in my chat has ever said Caleb Williams is trash. And you'll see an abundance of these. Because I'm telling you, the same way they said Bo Nix was trash,
Well, I raised my hand. I say Bo Nix
Was
for
that
trash,
you?
but that was
Okay.
from that was exactly from what I said. I said it though also. I prefaced it and I made it put it in context by saying I'm talking about the Auburn Bo Nix. You know what I mean?
And that boy went in there with 85%, some crazy number. But anyway, but I say all that to say that let's go through USC a little bit, man. Talk to me, man. What's you talk, man? I'm tired of talking. I want to answer some questions.
I
You
mean,
got the USC
oh,
segment.
here we go. Great. I get to ask you about USC then, because you know about
Yeah.
USC. You can tell me about these guys. I know they got some big, well, I shouldn't say big, just a lot of fast, shifty running backs. You got the Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback. You got some explosive, dangerous receivers, former greats. One of them, you got Deuce Robinson. His dad played at Florida State. You got, of course, Brendan Rice. Dad was the greatest receiver of all time, Jerry Rice. When Coach Prime was asked about it, though, Coach Prime really don't matter, though. I was surprised he said that, but he did kind of come back and say, I got respect for all players,
Yeah.
stuff like that. You know what I mean?
And I'll be honest, I was gonna say, boy, here they go. They gonna finna light this up. Coach Prime don't care about Jerry Rice and his kid.
Right.
But you want them to care about your kid. I saw that headline and he cleaned it up, but trust me, they're gonna snip it. They're gonna snip it and use it. Because they gotta get them what? Gotta get them clicks, dog.
Gotta get them clicks, dog. So I think I want to ask you though, what is it that USC presents based off what you've seen from Colorado? What is that USC presents that Colorado just will not be able to handle or just have no chance in your opinion?
So offensively, what they present is explosive plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
At any given moment, they have some guys on there that can be dynamic. We saw the freshman Zachariah Branch take little balls and take them like he takes the now routes. He can do what Dylan Edwards did TCU week.
Right.
He can take the little route and hit you for the thing. Of course, Rice, he can do it. Let me go here through just even from a passing standpoint. You look at, for example, Washington. He only got 10 catches, but 278 yards receiving. And 4 touchdowns. Think about it. 10 catches. He only has 10 catches and 4 touchdowns. So 40% of the balls he catch are touchdown.
And they going for 10. And they going for 20 plus.
Here's another one. Rice, his son, only has 12 catches, 257 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So
big baller with the homies.
Now, we could talk about strength of schedule and so forth and whatever, but however, numbers are numbers, and of course they can be skewed. And here's the funny thing. We talk about explosive plays. Washington's longest play, 76 yards. Rice's longest play, 75 yards. Robinson's longest play, 71 yards. And of course, on the special teams, which Colorado's had some issues with, Zachariah Branch is the returner, and he can take it back to the house. Easily. So if you don't get on your buffalo, you're gonna be on the back of that Trojan horse.
So I think they definitely should be making some moves on special teams, punt team, like you said, to prepare for a guy like Zach Branch. The whole special teams, you know what I mean, to prepare for a team like USC. But defensive wise, I think like I said earlier, we need to see different guys out there getting a chance to play, because if we just going into it thinking that the same thing is going to work, I don't think that's going to work. I think that'll put you back in the same position to be another 40 point to some game, but I think they have the pieces though to put together. It's like a puzzle, I think football is, especially with this team that they've constructed together. They have to put the correct pieces together. Will they sustain? Like I said, will they be able to compete with teams that have been put together the last 4 years? That's yet to be seen. But USC, they're coming in there looking to win. The equalizer, though, is going to be turnovers. The equalizer is the turnovers.
Yeah, but they've both been good they actually both have been good with the ball, right? Mm-hmm. They both are not turnover machines, right? They're not just turning it over. But I didn't even get to the rushing. You got your boy Lloyd, I believe, came out of South Carolina, 39 carries, 349, basically 8.99 yards a carry. He's got 2 tubs. But from the running perspective, they got 1, 2, 3. They got 5 dudes with touchdowns. And so the running game, and then Caleb Williams, Here's a bigger threat that I believe that poses to the Colorado Buffaloes. Is he's dual threat and accurate with the ball on the run, in the pocket, on the move, and his legs. And his legs.
With the hands on him, so you got to bring him all the way to the ground.
He's strong too.
Strong. He's elusive. He can get out of trouble. If you're not after him, if you don't have a high motor getting after him and being relentless, then he can beat you, long after the snap. He can extend plays like none other.
Yeah, I just think that from across the board, and again, people are going to make this comparison, but it's not a comparison because they don't play each other. I think USC's wide receiver core is very, very, very good across all. I'll just say all four receivers. That's not saying Colorado doesn't have it, but Colorado receivers don't play USC receivers. They play their defensive backs. And right now, we've been seeing some back end stuff. And I hate to be a guy to point this out. And Trevor Woods seems to always get the one to get pointed out. And I did a good, bad, and ugly. And it's hard to blame Trevor Woods on that Troy Franklin interception based on how they played quarters, because he left them wide open. But, if you would go check that out, put on Twitter as well, they did that long scissor route.
Right.
When they did that scissor route, Trevor Woods went with his guy. The corner stayed off. Now, that's one of those nuances that we talk about when it comes to chemistry, continuity, understanding. Yeah, that was a great scheme to say, hey, that's a cover 4 beater, guys. That's not something somebody told him. Hey, Coach Lanny, you could beat him. No, everybody knows that, dog. I got books back there telling me how to beat cover 4, and that's one of the first routes in it. However, once it gets to 10 yards, it becomes man. Well, they broke it right at 10. So here goes the confusion until they start working together. So I say all that to say this. I think they will try to work the safety. They may work the corners as much, but they will try to work Shiloh if they can. And Colorado's been playing a lot of one high, leaving these seam balls open. And Caleb is smart. He's been in the game for a minute. He's going to identify that, and he could dart you. He could really hurt you in that essence right there. And the run game ain't no slouch, dog. Lloyd can run, and he's fast.
Yeah.
And he's fast, explosive, bro.
That's why I say, no pointing out one player, but, I haven't seen a guy who I was expecting to possibly get a chance to start this year until I seen them put Trevor Woods out there and him playing well. But I think Rod Ward could find a way to get on the field this week. Explosive safety who can play the star position or the free safety position back there where Trevor Woods is. So look out for him. Trevor Woods, though, him and the DB that was on that play, I think it was Marion Cooper. They just have to get on the same page.
It's number 3, right? It's number 3.
Marion Cooper, former Florida State cornerback. They can get on the same page with that. You have to be able to cover those things and communicate those things to know that, when they get to 10, it's man. Well, is your 10 the same as my 10? How are we going to know those things? Well, let's just say this then. Once this, you have to get on the same page and know. You know what I'm saying? So whether they did that this week, whether they saw it on film and did it at halftime at some point, that's what it has to be. That's what I feel. So I ask you a question, though. What do you think about the defensive backfield at USC? How do they match up with the wide receivers at Colorado?
I think they're from the perimeter part of this. I think there's some very good similarities. I think they have a good receiving core. Of course, I know you're going to miss Travis Hunter. I was going to say Trevor Hunter, but you're going to miss Travis Hunter, right? But Xavier Weaver can play. Jimmy Horn can play. A big Antonio. What's his last name? 4.
Javon Antonio.
I'm sorry. Javon Antonio. He can play. Number 6 can play. Those guys can play. The problem is they ain't no good if 2 looking at the sky. That's the problem. I'm just calling a spade. So right. if 2 can stand up, he can hurt them. Like, that's the problem. If 2 is standing up, it could present a problem for the backfield for the defensive backfield for USC, for the Trojans. I think they do a good job getting to the football, and they're going to bring this 30 front. That is also something that Colorado has had an issue with. Nebraska actually exposed that. Nebraska's offense just didn't help them. But the 30 front is going to pose those same problems of identifying blitzers, because, if you bring 30, The guy don't walk up and say, "Hey, it's me. I'm blitzing." You got guys showing, defensive ends falling off. You got the Mike and the Jack backer coming in. He's falling off. You got the 2 Jack and the outside coming. These 2 coming corner. They coming from all over the place.
Played. That's what a real football game is played, right there on that line. If you can confuse those offensive linemen, if you can do like I said earlier, send only 4 or 5, but the offensive line is confused. So you have them double teaming on a guy they shouldn't be double teaming and leaving another guy free, then it really doesn't matter. So instead of them having an extra receiver out of the backfield with the running back or Sheduer Sanders being able to call a hot route, if you're confused on the offensive line, now you're getting hit in the mouth before you can even make the throw that you want to make. So I think that's where the game would be played at. What do you think about the defensive tackle that Colorado really wanted, who came over from Georgia? He's at USC.
Alexander. So Bear Alexander, right? Because he's in that 30 front, he's catching a lot of the double team. But there's a guy named Bird over there that's coming, right? I think he's got like 4.5 sacks, maybe 5 sacks right now already. Let me pull this up right quick because I was looking at it earlier. So right now, USC has a total of 16 sacks as a team right now. And so that's what I'm saying. When people say, oh, well, their D-line is not that stout, well, Colorado is showed to be one-dimensional. I'll say 1.5 dimensional. No, I'll say 1 dimensional. I'm going to say 1 dimensional. And they can come. And you got a total of, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They got 10 different people that have registered a full sack or more. Not a half, but a full. So that right there is I'm telling you, they coming. They coming. And if you don't find a way to keep 2 up, it's going to be, I have to say this. I hate to say this, but I have to say this. It's going to be part 2. It's going to be part 2. I didn't say it's not. Hold on. I didn't say it's not. I simply said if you don't get that fixed, it will be part 2. That's what I'm saying.
Part 2. And I say this, man, in order for it to not be part 2, in order for it to minimize those type of things to where the offensive line is being totally confused, that partly goes back to the quarterback also, as far as getting the right calls and identifying the correct rushers. Now, Sheduer he's not gonna be one of those guys that's not gonna be in the film room. He's not gonna be one of those guys that Coach Prime has to say go study. He's in that film room and he's understanding, okay, this is what we messed up on last week. It's a possibility we're gonna see this week. Let me make sure I brush up on this, lock back in, and get this corrected. Because all I had to do was, if I would have made the correct call on this, maybe call this a Roger instead of a Lee, now my back would have been free. You know what I'm saying? And now everybody would have been man on man because they only brought 5. I got 5 blockers in front of me. I could have picked up the hot route, or I could have hit my back out of the backfield. And you simplify it like that, and now the game slows down to you. Now those guys who's faking and coming, if you've been watching film and you have some type of indicators to show he's not going to come, actually, even though he's showing, just like you saw Aaron Rodgers doing that viral clip when he said, stop faking, you're not coming. If Sheduer can be that confident and know from whatever indicators, and I hope Aaron Rodgers, who shows some support of Coach Prime this week, hopefully he's like taking it upon himself, being hurt, sitting at home. Hopefully he watched that game and he called Sheduer and say, hey, man, listen, you know how I identify rushers because there's your indicator right there. A lot of coaches might not tell you or might not even know, but there's your indicator right there. Is this guy. It's not that guy they're telling you to look at. It's this guy. And now Sheduer can have that edge at the line of scrimmage, which is where the game is won at a lot. And he can make those adjustments to make those hot routes and those quick passes get up out of that thing.
You're 100% right quick. I've had this up for a while. Thanks for Preston, $4.99. Colorado has no chance. Good luck stopping Bear Alexander, that D tackle, and the best freshman linebacker, Tackett Curtis be out there thumping. Anyway, score will be 56-13. Fight home. All right, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for the love there, guys. We're not trying to miss a lot of your chats. I want you to kind of understand how this we're trying to make this an undisputed. You understand me? So we want to talk to y'all, and we're going to do that here in a second. We're going to open up the phone lines. I'm not putting a timer up. Here's what we just simply want. We want you to call in, hey, how you doing? Yeah.
I'll be a nice group. Listen, man, y'all just ask a question.
That's it.
just like the radio show. You're gonna call in. Hey, my name is such. Matter of fact, you could do this. You can say, "Hey, my name is such and such. I'm calling from here. Here's my question." That's how I gotta go. All right.
You know what I was doing? You know what I was doing?
What? Playing around?
No taxes. I was being political, dog. I was being political. No taxes.
Gotta be like
Let me be clear. Let me be clear. No taxes. Oh my gosh. No what, Chico?
After you give your question, the phone will hang up. There won't be no follow-up on it. We're going to hang it up after that. So get your question in. Let us know your name, where you're from, and what's your question. You got 3 things: your name, where you're from, where you're questioning. Call in right now, 862-799-9956. 862-799-9956. The number is right there below. Call in right now. Get them in. We only got a few minutes left up on this thing. All right.
Yeah, we only got a few minutes, guys. We're trying to make it. We want you to ask your questions that can't use biting. Ugh. But anyway, while we waiting for the queue to build up here, it always takes a few minutes because a little delay, but people, they waiting for somebody to call in first. Did I call in? Okay, here's what I want to say. As we talk about this.
Is that Chico talking that imaginary stuff? Oh no, put the timer. I'm in Los Angeles. USC is taking it personal, just like Oregon. Okay.
Yeah. So here's what I want to say as we look at a couple of these comments. Studio say, "Damn, we can't make a statement." No, not today, because you gotta remember, we're on dual streams, we're on dual shows. We're just trying to make this thing. We're working a new deal. We're trying to get more people in, right? We're trying to get more people. We're not going to be labor our answers with no. We're gonna get straight to the point and make it happen so we can get a
lightning round. This is lightning round, like they say. This quick hits, real quick. I'm Coach Hayes and Big Dog Chico channel. Call in, say your name, where you're calling from, and your question. All right.
You got somebody online first. We already on 10. We got 10 in the queue already. All right. Some of y'all, I got your names, man. Oh, that thing moves so fast. Let's start off with Studio One. Studio One, talk to us.
What's up, Big? What's up, Chico? Coach Hayes, how y'all doing today?
We're doing great, man. What's your question?
All right.
What's your name? Where you calling from? What's your question?
It's okay. You can jump in this if you want.
Okay.
I really believe, USC wasn't that much better physically, talent-wise. It seems y'all had a mental lapse. And I'm wondering, do you believe that the social media hoopla might have gotten to these kids, and it's a lot of pressure on these kids, not only from the coaches, but from the social media, their own social media outlets, pressuring them to play good or whatever the case may be.
Gotcha.
And they just had a mental lapse. The game was too big for them because they just didn't show up. It wasn't a fact that it just wasn't showing up. And I just think it was a mental lapse. What you think about that?
Appreciate you, Studio. Thanks a lot, brother.
Appreciate it. So he's saying, what do we think? Do we think that the video stuff and all the YouTube things is too much? Is too much pressure? I'm going to say no. I think these kids nowadays are way more advanced than what we think. They can multitask. They can do multiple things at once. I think they got beat. And if that stage was too big for them, then you only got bigger stages to come. You know, starting with this week coming up with USC, although it's at home, it's a huge stage. You're going to have to perform, a lot of pressure on you, you know. But like Coach Prime said, that's not pressure, dog. Pressure is where am I going to eat? Where am I going to sleep at? You know, that's real pressure. I think they're able to deal with the YouTube and things of that nature because they're of the new generation and it's nothing to them.
So real quick, they are of the YouTube generation. I'm just going to be very blunt with this. No, they just got outmanned and they got their butts with a good old-fashioned butt whipping. I don't care if they did have or didn't have social media. Oregon was the better team that day. They were better athletes, better prepared. I'm just calling what it is, man. So I appreciate it. 3703 coming to you next. Give us your name, where you're calling from, and what's your question?
Hey, Coach. This is Larry Ward from B-More.
What's
great
up?
Show, man. Just
Thank
wanted to know, do you think them getting a scouting report of themselves is going to be a good thing where they can really hone in and prepare and understand how other teams are viewing them from a schematic perspective?
Yeah, man. Thank you for your question, man. Appreciate it. I will say this. Yes, it's called self-scouting. That's usually done in the bye week by coaches because they have a little more time. They don't have a game coming up. But some guys have bye weeks week 9, so that's a little bit late. But when you get to around this 5-6 week mark, kind of the midway mark, you do want to self-scout because you do create tendencies, right? And when you create tendencies, that's why people look at film. So you may want to change it up. You may want to make some changes or wrinkles to certain plays where people can kind of pinpoint when you're going to, like Chico said, I know when that guy's blitzing. So self-scout says every time 13 walks up on the line, he's blitzing. So let's walk him on the line, but blitz 52 this time. So yes, I do think self-scout works. How do you think, Chico?
Oh, definitely 100%. You go in there, you realize it's just like looking in the mirror, dog. You can get dressed without a mirror, but who knows what you really look like? You know what I'm saying? You're still taking a chance until you look in that mirror and you see, oh damn, my shirt wrinkled, my button is on the wrong one. A lot of things
inside out.
I couldn't see these things by just looking at myself like this. The mirror kind of gives you a different perspective. The self-scouting does the exact thing with the coach telling you and not holding anything back, dog, and saying that's a negative play. These are your negative plays. These are your, par plays, and these are all of your plays that you actually did good at. And for a player to see that and understand that early in the season, you know what you can get better at.
Definitely, man. 54. Thank you for the question, man. 5456. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's your question?
There's Rob from Texas.
Rob from Texas. What's up, Rob? Talk to us.
Texas.
Yes, it's for Big Chico. Last week I called in because I was concerned about special teams. Of course, they didn't disappoint. Oregon had a fake punt, and then we had a blocked field goal. Do you still believe that within time everything will get resolved?
I mean, it better.
Thank you, man, for your question. Thank you.
It better. They have no choice. They better be working on it. I think to be blunt, if I'm Trevor, the special teams coach, I'm going the rest of this season like my job is on the line. Special teams coaches are like offensive linemen. You don't really get noticed until you're not doing your job. That's when your name get called when you're messing up. So you should want to not. I shouldn't know his name. You know what I'm saying? Nobody should know his name because he's doing a great job. For what he's looking for this coming week and looking forward, can they fix it? Is a task. I think they have the personnel out there to do it, not on the field, on the team to do it. You just gotta find the right guys that's gonna be willing to go in there, not take plays off, and take pride in making these blocks and making these plays on special teams, because it's not a playoff once again. And if you're only putting like freshmen on there or guys who are not really playing, or guys to just get them out there, get their feet wet, and not someone who's really to make plays, then it's going to continue to happen. And you got dogs coming when USC line up in front of you. You got dogs. Whatever.
6406 coming to you, caller. Give us your name, where you calling from. What's your question?
What's going on? It's Tony the Pod Boss.
Tony, what's up, man? How you feeling, brother?
Good, fellas.
Talk to us.
So I got a question. So we've been seeing, Landon Beebe lined up and Jack Bailey, and for whatever reason they still out there. So my question is, to you fellas, do you think this is a fireable offense? Because Coach, I think I heard Coach Prime said a little bit earlier how he works with his coaches is you tell him what you need and he'll help you go get it. So if you say, hey, I need this amount of linemen, this size, this shape, he helps you go out and get it, him and his recruiting staff. And then from there, he allows you to coach it, be responsible, and he holds you responsible. He's not a micromanager.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard him say that. So do you think this is a fireable offense for the O-line coach, Bill Boyle? Because I know, what's the kid's name? Jack Bailey came over from Kent State from him. It kind of looks like he's kind of being loyal to him versus trying somebody else out. So just want to hear your take on that.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you, Tony, man. Thanks as always supporting. Go ahead, Chico. I'll let you go first. I got a very interesting take on this, which I brought up before.
Well, I wanted to hear your take. Actually, I would say real quick, good point, good question, but fireable, in the first year? I don't think so. I think they went out and got the best players that they could get. And knowing some players, whether they came from Kent State or wherever school you were at previously, if you know these players and you know that, hey man, from looking at whatever's in the portal right now, at least I know these guys. They know the system. They'll be better than anything we can pick up right now. At least they'll be better than them, projected to be right now. So he went with his guys. You got some injuries on the offensive line. You got Tyler Brown out. You got big David Connor with the pec injury. He was out. Apparently something wrong with Jack Wiltie because he started in the spring and the first game, I think. He's out. So that's 3 interior linemen right there that's out. And then you have to go with Jack Bailey, who has experience, Landon Beebe, who has experience, and Van Bam Wells. So, hey, we're going 3 hours for sure. Love you.
We can't keep me on point. Here's what I'll say, Chico. A lot of people don't want to hear this, but I'm going to call it what it is. I think right now Colorado has its best out there. I'm going to tell you why.
That's basic, yeah.
They have their best. It's not pretty. It's not this. Here's why. Go look at see, remember, people tell you stuff without telling you stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Go look at the blocking on the field goal, as my man Rob called from Texas. Those are the backup O-linemen because they think special teams is just Rudy Poo. All they got to do is kick the ball, but they running through them like diarrhea. Shout out to Coach 30 in the building. They running through them. Anyway, I tried to go somewhere else with it, but my mind wasn't working fast enough. But anyway, they running through them. So, yes, optically to the fans, oh, there's somebody else. But trust me, I said this before. Right now, y'all got to follow me. Nobody wants to call their baby ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is the best you got. Teeth all big, acne everywhere. You just hoping he growing from that black swan to a beautiful swan. That's what you hoping for. You hoping that through grooming him and through getting him prepared, he'll blossom into this beautiful swan. But right now, he the ugly duckling. Yeah. And that's what it is. That's the best you got. And see, people think
the freshman that stepped up was Hank Zelinskis, but he's a center. He came in and played for Van Wells. But
Van Wells got ran through.
Yeah, you have Kareem Harden there from JUCO. He's an interior lineman who could play. And, overall, though, you're thin there, especially, like I said, with the injury and the takeaway of Tyler Brown.
So I'll say this as we move on because we got about 20-something people in. Here's what I'll say. When I told people Tyler Brown was a big blow to this offensive line, I'm putting my thumb up. I want to be clear. When I said Tyler Brown was a big blow, no, it's not, Coach. I mean, we got plenty of guys. Okay, the strongest dude on your O-line is starting to rear his head. I'll leave it at that. We're going to our next caller. Appreciate you, Tony. We're going to 2903. 2903. Caller, talk to us. Give us your name, where you're calling from, and what's your question.
This is Marcellus from Richmond, California, out the Bay Area. I subscribe to both you guys. I love your the program. I'm always giving Coach a hard time, in the chat.
Yeah, that's all good.
But drop your Cash App so I can tip you off. I already took care of Chico. But the question
Coach Hayes football. I need to put that up here. Thank you, Coach Hayes football. Coach Hayes football. You'll see that logo right there. If you don't see that, don't do it. Some people have got scammed already. But appreciate you. Go ahead. What's your question?
Okay, with the logo. Yes, sir. We only 9 months in. Right? We're only 9 months in. Why is everybody panicking? Of course we don't have the national championship players. And of course we don't have everybody here. But everybody acting like it's a rainy day or something. We 3-1.
What's your question, Marcel? I'm finna get on that. What's your question? Because I'm finna get on you for that one. Go ahead.
I'm just going to let y'all feed off of that, man. And I'm going to drop back after I get the Cash App. Drop back and y'all do your thing.
Thank you, Marcellus, for that, man. Appreciate the dono too, brother.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead, Chico. You go first because I'm finna ride.
I was just gonna say, hey, we are 3-1, but you got it's like being 3-1 at the bottom of a mountain though, because you got a high mountain to climb with these teams coming up that you're playing in this Pac-12. That's been the best that they've been, in a long time. So, you're 3-1 right now, but you still got to play each game, man. 3-1 ain't gonna last forever. You got to play each game, and hopefully you can go 4-1 and 5-1 and so on. Because if you lose a game, now you're gonna be 3-2, And if you lose another one, now you're gonna be 3-3. You know, that doesn't look as good as 3-1. But overall, it's still an improvement from last year. How much more can you ask of Coach Prime and everything that he's brought to the program, to college football, up until this point? That's what I'm saying. So shouts out to him. Things are on the up and up right now, but you still playing a tough schedule coming up. So that 3-1 is just what it is. It's just a record right now.
Thank you for that pontification there, Big Dog Chico. As we push this on, Marcellus. But my burner account said, don't say nothing bad, Kobe, before he cash app you. Well, listen, here's what I'm going to say. And I'm not speaking to Marcellus directly because I can't keep the receipts of all of these chats. However, there were enough chats. See, what I'm starting to see now, that some of y'all have entered the Coach Prime the Coach Prime backpedaling deflection academy, where you're learning how to backpedal from things you said because I'm gonna tell you how. Now it's like Keyshawn, or Shady McCoy. It's only been 9 months. Well, nobody's saying that earlier, right? When we're trying to say, hey, let's temper expectations. It's only been 4 months at this point. It's only been 5 months. It's only been 6 months. Relax. I'm not saying that Marcellus said that they're national champion. I'm just talking in general here. As I always say, if the shoe fits, wear it. If it doesn't, walk on by. But to that being said, so all these people, well, it's only 9 months. No. I want that same energy, y'all. That guess what? This is what it is. And don't you dare turn on Coach Prime. I'm not saying Marcellus turned on Coach Prime, but I don't want these people to turn on Coach Prime because now you got to explain your fandom to everybody else, and it's not fitting your narrative. As Josh Pate said, I'm going to move on. I know I'm bloviating. As Josh Pate said, people set expectations, but when they don't meet your expectations, then you call them a failure. Mm-hmm. Then you call them a failure. Mm-hmm. And see, that's what I was trying to eliminate from people calling Coach Prime a failure because he doesn't meet your expectation. And that's what I just want to put that out there. 4883 coming to you. Call or talk to us. Give us your name, where you're calling from, and your question.
Hey, what's going on, Coach? It's John Crane from Fort Worth, Texas again.
What's up, man?
My question is for both of y'all. And I'm going to have to cuss, but my question is, what the hell are we going to do? And I'm saying that because I watch Well Off a lot. And to me, it just looked like even they practices, they're not even practicing as hard as they used to. Like, it seemed like they've been losing, like, confidence since the Colorado State game.
Chico? Hold on, let me get that. Was there a question in there, or it was just making a general statement?
No, my question is, what are we gonna do? Like, how does Coach Prime get them to get back to that TCU game feeling of like we need to win bad, like again?
I think that's what he did.
Thank you for that question, brother. Thank you for that question, man.
I think that's what he's done on the recent Well Off video. If we're breaking down Well Off videos as if it's showing each and everything, but just from what we see on the Well Off video, I see he's coming with that type attitude to hey man, we got to show up, we got to stand on business, we got to find a way to get better. You know what I'm saying? He's coming with an attitude to kind of re-energize them, so to speak. But as far as them working hard, I think they're working hard. It's not going to be the same as training camp, but when Coach Prime say go full speed, I think they're still going full speed. And it's a lot of guys on the field who still got something to prove, who feel like they haven't been given their shot yet, and they feel like they can, have the opportunity to show something. I still think they said, what do you say, Coach G, big dog, stand on your ground. Exactly. I still think though they have guys, like I said, they still have guys who haven't really played on the field, some of them at all, and a lot of them in the same position or meshed well with the guys that they put out there with. They're going to find that combination, and they're going to play a lot better than what we've seen at Oregon. It was one game, dog. It was one game. Matchups makes games just like matchups makes fights.
So big shout out to Coach G in the building. Hope you subscribe, man. I know you're on Chico's side, man, but I would love for you to come back and be a subscriber, Coach G, man. I know you say you unsubscribe, but I would love to have you back, man. You're a friend of mine, man. So hope you come on back, Coach G, man. But if not, I understand. Maybe you can see me every Tuesdays at 8:30 right here with Chico. Here's what I will say in rebut to that. Maybe I'm being nitpicky, but can't go off a 15-minute video, dog. Well, guess what? Prior to the season, everybody was going off them 15-minute videos about how much butt y'all was gonna kick. And so I'm not the goalpost mover. Them same 15-minute videos is the same thing y'all looked at. We're gonna kick butt. Look what they did. Now you look at a 15-minute video. Man, you can't go off that 15-minute video, dog. See, that's the goalpost move. Chico, you know why you laughing? You know why you laughing? Because you know I'm telling the truth. The same logic that they use right here is you can't go off them 15-minute videos is them same 15-minute videos everybody was going off since June, July, and camp of August.
You're taking it too far. You're taking it far now, Biggs. You're going too far now, Biggs. Listen.
Hold up.
You're going too far.
Hold up. Y'all gone too far, Brad John. You're killing my big. What you know about that Shotters, boy? Come on, that's from the crib. I ain't go too Chico. I ain't go too far. You know I'm telling the truth. How can you say in the same breath that based on that logic, we can't go off a 15-minute? No, we can't go off these 15-minute videos. But we can go off these 15-minute videos to tell you how good we gonna be. Cut it out. Let me get to the next. Unless you want to respond, brother.
No, I was gonna say this real quick. No, what he was asking though was about the way they were practicing. He was
no. I'm not talking about that. I was talking about the people in the chat talking about because they're in here talking about, oh, you can't go out to 15-minute videos. They're not showing. They're not showing.
I feel you on that. That's funny, but yeah, either one way or the other. Now you can't go off of it or you're not. But me, I was breaking down what I saw in the videos. Not saying that totality of the team is going to be like this. This is what I see in the videos. Same way you break down what you see.
I got you. V12 in the building. What's up with you, baby? I already know who you are.
Hey, y'all already know who it is. It's 12 from the bottom of the map. And I ain't talking about Georgia. It's MIA, baby. Fair City, Dade County, Heavy Chevy boys. You already know. 12 all the way live every day.
What's up with you,
6 o'clock at night. We fired up. Hey, here's the question. Fact or fiction for both of you fellas, since y'all want to go back and forth. Coach Prime wins a national championship at Colorado. Fact or fiction? If it's
fact,
tell me why. Y'all holler at me, man. Y'all be blessed.
Hold on. Don't leave. How long are we talking about? You just talking about in general?
Man, listen, man, I got all time. Hey, listen, I gave you. Y'all want to cut it short? Y'all don't want to be political? Answer the freaking question. And we ain't going duck, goose. Answer, dog. If you win it there at Colorado, if yes, tell me why he wins it there.
All right, go for it, Chico.
It's obvious why. I'll say it quickly. If we're projecting that he stays there, he's not going anywhere. You asking, will he win a national championship? Yes or no? I say absolutely. Why? Based off the projection and whatever.
Colorado.
At Colorado, yes, at Colorado, he's gonna be contending for one next year, based off of the guys he can bring in on that offensive and defensive line. RP Tom Hanks, love his movie. Okay,
RP
from Alabama, but other than that, I think definitely Coach Prime can get a championship at Colorado. I'll even put a time limit on it and say within 4 years. Within 4 years. Next year is going to be tough, but he can compete next year with the talent that he already has and bringing in some big-time talent, though. I'm talking about big-time on that offensive and defensive line. It got to be some guys out there that see, hey, man, I can go to Colorado and make a difference. I can go to Colorado and not be behind these guys at Georgia, Florida, Miami, wherever. I can go to Colorado and be the man, you know?
Okay. So here's what I'll say. I will say yes, because Coach Prime has what it takes to be a national championship winning head coach. Now, I can't say the amount of time because there are a lot of variables that go in there, but I don't think it's a 10-year window. I don't know if four might be a little bit much. It might be a little bit too short. And again, I think it all is going to depend on him and his tenure at Colorado. If he's there, I'll say within 7 years. Within 7,
7 years.
Yeah.
Do you see? You see what this man doing this year?
Yeah.
So if you're a recruit, let me ask you a question.
Can I give my outlook on it, if y'all don't mind?
Go ahead, 12. I love you, dog. Only because you 12, dog. Only because you 12. Go ahead.
Let me tell you this. I do believe Coach Prime wins the national championship, but I hate to tell you guys this. It won't be at Colorado. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I don't care how these deals are structured. He won't be there 7 years. I think Prime has a plan. I think everything Prime does is a stepping stone. I believe with the college landscape, the recruiting is going to get more competitive. You still got the Jordans out there. You still have the Miamis out there. You still have the Alabamas out there. You still have the Oregons out there. You still have all these Power 5 teams. With the restructuring of a lot of these conferences, I do believe he can win it. We still have the Florida States. I do believe he can win it, but it would not be with Colorado. I think somebody comes in or he leaves. Because guess what? His window of opportunity, for me, is going to be small. Sheduer doesn't have a long time left. Neither does Shiloh. Neither does Travis. I think he does win one, but not at Colorado.
Wow. All right. Appreciate you, 12. Listen, and again, we could be labeled that all day, but I was going to just say this. I said within 7 because we don't know how the recruiting ebbs and flow, and those guys have to grow into those positions. And I don't think you can win one strictly out the transfer portal. I don't believe that. I believe you have to grow your foundation, and transfer portal is meant to put Band-Aids on bullet wounds to get you to the hospital. It's not here to fix a bullet wound. That's how I look at it. But we could go over this forever. Mike Lowry. All right, here we go. Guys, after we finish this, I'm going to lock it so we don't take any more because we'll be on here forever. We got quite a few. So after we answer Mike Lowry's question, then we'll lock it. So if you want to call in, please do so now. Mike, talk to us, man. Tell us where you're from.
Do you have
Mike Lowry.
Brown sugar?
Yeah, from Fort Myers. Little Packers fan.
All right.
So my question is, what about their record after that embarrassing loss? I know the Colorado coach, how they feel about the 12 and 0. They want to go 15 and 0. What you feel about that? And how you feel about the backup on defense? I heard you talking about Rod. Who else you think can come in? Because Caleb Mathis, I want him in. But Trevor Woods makes a lot of bad reads in the back end. He puts them in a lot of trouble.
Gotcha.
As well as Shiloh.
Gotcha.
So who do you think can come in and help them now? Because a lot of those boys play hybrid like Travis J and Jaquez. I want to see some of them boys on the field. How you feel about those boys getting in? I seen Travis saying he want to play. How do you feel about that? And what do you think about
Mike Lowry? You got one question, dog. God, Mike, hey boy, them cane roots be on one, boy. Mike, I love you, but I'm like Prime. Hold up, dog. I'm old. You gotta ask me one question, dog. All right, what's your one question that we can answer?
He can't talk no more. Mike Lowry, you ain't finna do this again. We gonna take one of them 16 you asked already, and one
Mike,
of them.
I love you, bro.
One of them was.
I don't even know.
One of them was about the DBs back there. What other DBs I think can play? And I see a comment saying Travis J better at safety than cornerback. I think so too, especially coming off a knee injury. I think he need to be more inside than out there on the island by himself. Other cornerbacks or DBs I think can play. I said Rod Ward, Jaden Milner-Jones, if he understands what to do. Hopefully we'll see Kamani McLean in the playbook and out there having a chance at some point this game. If he's not ready, though, the main guys I want to see out there is Amarion Cooper, who started. Jaquez Robinson, if he's healthy. He got a pick last game. Might be a couple young guys like Solomon or Israel Solomon who might be redshirting this year, but they might have to bring these young guys up and just give them a chance to play on defense because there's a lot of guys back there in that defensive backfield who hasn't played. Vito Tisdale, safety from Kentucky. A few other guys that can play in that defensive backfield. Like I said, we haven't seen that all yet, so we'll see moving forward.
All right, man. Appreciate it. I'm not going to answer because he pretty much said the same. I can't say the same thing he said. I'm getting ready to lock the chat.
The conference has been locked.
Here we go. Like I said,
Slusher will be back.
Huh?
No, I said shouts out to Slusher, Miles Slusher.
Slusher.
Yeah, Miles Slusher should be back. And also, we're not really sure if Shiloh Sanders will be available for this game, as Coach Prime said he went to the hospital after the game.
Some blood, buddy.
I don't know whether he was peeing blood or whatever it was.
He said that in the video. He said, got off the plane, and he said, man, I'm peeing blood, bro.
I thought he said he was seeing blood. So
no,
I was
saying it was pissing blood.
I thought it was might have been a head injury. Would he?
He said I'm pissing blood. He said I made a tackle and I fell on my side.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He did say that. So he could be out this game, and that way that could open up, playing time for a Tisdale, Jaden Milner-Jones, Rod Ward, or anybody else back there at the safety spot.
Gotcha. All right, let me pop this thing on 6455. Here you go, my baby.
All right, we got time for what? 2 more? Yep, we're rolling down on 2 hours right now. We got 2 more.
We're trying to get to them. But we got to answer them fast. Lexus, talk to us.
Hey, Coach Hayes, how are you?
Stop it, Lexus. How are you?
Easy.
You stop all that blush.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen, I don't know if you all are going to give predictions about at the end, you and your co-host there, but I will be honest and say, I'm a humongous Coach Prime fan.
Yes.
And I am extremely nervous about this game.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't too crazy about the Oregon one. I mean, I wouldn't have bet any money that Colorado was going to beat Oregon, but I certainly didn't expect them to get just a good old-fashioned butt whooping, as Dion put it.
Mm-hmm.
The way it happened.
Right.
The way they got beat makes me nervous about USC, because I actually think USC is probably a little bit better than Oregon.
Right.
So, so I'm nervous, and I'm just waiting to see what you guys think about that. But, of course, I'm always hoping that Coach Prime and the staff can find some kind of way to get these boys together to play some football, because they didn't play none with that Oregon game, that's for sure.
Yep.
And at least give it a better battle, even in defeat if they lose. That's my comment.
Thank you, Alexis. I appreciate it. Got me over here sweating. You stop it. I don't know if it was a question up in that, Chico, but we're finna run through this. It's locked. We're gonna run through these if you don't mind, but we got to go quickly. Here we go. Next one. Oh, Lord mercy. Ray from Georgia. Talk to us. Let us know your question. Go straight to the question, because we got to run. We said an hour and a half. We had 2 already. Talk to us.
Okay, so I go straight to my questions. I have 3 questions, and I'm gonna pop them off real quick. My first question is for you, Coach Hayes.
Okay.
And do you think, because I actually took a look at your good, bad, and ugly, so I got to see some plays. Do you think there were some times in the game, the last game, where Sheduer should have tucked the ball and ran? And my second question, in regards to the Kamari, I'm not really familiar with him, but you guys were saying give him a mentor, give him an accountability coach, someone to make sure that he gets to practice, to meetings and so forth on time, or attend meetings. My question in regards to that, how long should the babysitting go? I mean, you're there, you got a job to do, you're there to do a job. So you either want it or you kind of want it. And from what I'm, based on the press conference, I'm hearing that he just kind of wants it. So how much of the babysitting and how long should this be going on? Now, my last question, to me, I've heard several conversations where it was going to be 6 and 6. And with being 6 and 6, that makes them eligible for a bowl game, doesn't that?
That's
Is that
correct.
right?
That's correct.
And to me, that is a success. So with that being said, I'm just going to say it, y'all won't say it, but I do not see them winning Saturday. So with that being said, with the schedule that they have beyond Saturday, what games do you think they're more likely to win?
Okay.
And that's all my questions.
Thank you, Ray. I appreciate you. Man, hey, Coach, it's hard to tell the ladies no, Chico. I'm sorry, dog. It's hard, dog. It's hard. Joe Toes talking about just hang up. You just hang up, Joe Toes. And I hate to say this. Go ahead, Chico, you answer because I don't forgot the first question.
These Joe Toes, that's why you don't have none of those Joe Toes, because you said hang up on them.
Listen, I had to write them down because I'm like, dog, I don't forgot the first question. What did she ask me?
I thought I saw you write them down.
I was trying to remember.
She was asking you though, but that's why we asked for
one question. Okay, I'm not gonna go through all 6. I've done the 6 and 6. However, I do believe they will win 6. They have beat TCU, so I did push it to 7. But Arizona State scares me. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm not gonna last long on that. The Kamani McLean comment. I forgot the first one, Ray. I swear to God, I probably put it in the chat. Let me know. I will say this about Kamani McLean. Sometimes some nurturing has to take place. And I'll say this especially for all my HBCU grads. HBCU schools in general, a lot of nurturing takes place there. You're not just a number of 50,000 students. You don't just go there and you're just student number 485,273. You know, you have smaller classes. There is a process in there. There is a family atmosphere in there. It's a lot more intimate in the education setting. It's not a classroom of 100, 200, 300 people in a lecture setting. Sometimes people need that, right? Because as a coach, and this is what I do love about Coach Prime, everybody matures differently. Travis Hunter, he's there already. Sheduer is there already. And everybody doesn't have the same maybe upbringing or maturity or whatever. And so if you can get him to that level, and he has ability, let's not throw him to the wolves just because I want to teach him a lesson when guess what? He can take that lesson that may take a little more time. And I'm not saying it's got to be forever, but take a little more time and he can flourish for the rest of his life. But if you leave him to the wolves, look how he's turning. He's actually, based on what the information I'm saying, I'm speculating, he's already beginning to implode because it's not going his way. That's how I'll say that just in general. Chico, would you like to answer? And then I forgot.
She asked, Sheduer. I'm not going to touch that right there. That's your opinion on Kamani McLean, but I will say this. I did catch you say, that's what I do like about Coach Prime, implying that there are several things that you don't like about Coach Prime. Huh? You said it, not me. These one things I do like about Coach Prime. Is that not saying something, or am I digging too much right there? Am I reaching for it right there? Am I reaching?
No, I don't understand. I don't understand how you got there. I don't mind you saying it. Just I don't understand how you got there though.
Because I was listening.
Because I said one of the things I like about. I was just saying one of the things I like about Coach Prime is
because it just caught my mind. Like I said, it could have been nothing. It could have been something, but it just caught me when you said one of the things.
Skip. I don't even understand what you're doing. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, I'm so lost right now. Moving on, Stephen A. We're past the 2-hour mark, Stephen A. So we're gonna go right here.
All right, let's go quickly.
I need to go take me some of this, a sip of this Shea by Le Portier, which I am the sole proprietor of. So other than that, she asked about Sheduer Sanders holding the ball too long. Could he have run the ball in some of those plays? I think
not Oregon game. No,
I think they was in his face so much. Y'all saw them sacks. You saw him try to spin out of some of them, but it just wasn't happening.
Oregon game, no, because they had great rush lanes. They had great rush lanes. So no, I can't say that. Can we go?
Great angles and great rush lanes. Good job.
All right, can we go quickly? 85-87. Literally, come on, one question, in and out. We're gonna answer quick. 85-87. Call or talk to us. Give us your name. Where you calling from?
85-87.
Sean from New York.
Talk to us, Sean.
2 quick questions. I actually
only one, Sean. I got 12 people back here. Right. We already over time. Go ahead.
All right. Thoughts on Trevor Woods getting switched to linebacker and having Roger Ward, but it was his safety along with Chaz Wallace at D tackle and Shane Coates at end.
All right, I'll let Chico answer that. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. 85-87. Thank you. Go ahead.
I like Chaz Wallace coming in, playing a lot more D tackle. I like Shane Coates playing 4-3 type goal line defensive end. Trevor Woods playing linebacker. No, not at all. Keep him at safety. Rod Ward coming in, Vito Tisdale coming in spot situations. I think you got to give them a chance to play and just see what they can do on the field, given these situations. You know, we've seen Trevor Woods back there and so on. So like I said, it's time to give other guys a shot. Good question, though. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. 6123, call or talk to us. Give us your name, where you calling from. What's your question?
Yo, what up, Coach? This is Jake Quellen from Cali.
Jake Quellen from West Side. Talk to me, man. What's your question?
Let's see if Aaliyah.
My question is for Chico.
Oh, now?
My question is for Chico. Pretty much, how important is this win for Colorado against USC, given the fact, where things are going with the narrative that, they're not as good as that people were saying a couple of weeks ago. In my opinion, it's a huge-ass win, even if they lose their 2 games after that. But I want to know what your opinion is.
Great question. Appreciate it, brother.
If they win this game, yeah, it's humongous. It's a kind of a saying that the Oregon game was just a bad game. That's not us. That's not the team that you think we are. We're not that team that played Oregon. We're the team that beat USC. Heck yeah, that'll be huge. That'll shot put Sheduer Sanders above Caleb Williams, possibly, depending on the duel, in the Heisman race. So it'll be humongous game for them to win. I don't know what you're talking about, Godspeed, but I appreciate it. It'll be huge for them to win, though, man, versus USC and Caleb Williams. I will say this, before the season started, I had them going 3-0 going into the Oregon game. Honestly, I wasn't sure about the Oregon game. I didn't make a prediction on that until Coach Hayes put me in the corner and tried to pressure me with his goons from South Florida. You know what I'm saying? Sapase to all my Zoes out there. You know what I mean?
Mabule. Oh, go ahead.
But, they tried to pressure me. But this game right here before the season, I said Colorado could pull out a win at home, an upset win, if they can get those equalizers. That's them turnovers, dog. They can get turnovers. Gotcha. They can force Caleb Williams to make some bad plays. They can win this game.
Love it, man. Appreciate it. All right, there's one. 1591. We got 4 more calls and then we're done. 1591. Call or talk to us. Give us your name, where you calling from. What's your question?
Hey, what's going on, Coach? What's going on, Chico? This is Sean from Oregon again.
Sean from Oregon. What's up, man?
Last show. What's going on with you, man? I'm back.
Yeah, man. What's your question, buddy? Appreciate
you. Here's my question real quick. So being that we know what we know already from the spring game all the way up until now, and even with film out there, right? When is Coach Prime going to really just sit back and just put Kelly and Lewis in the room and look here, dog? We can flip this. We can do all the things that we want. We can mix and match and get players in. But when I need y'all to open this thing up, and just open it up, man. Better scheming and everything else. Like, when does he put his foot down? Because
gotcha.
These teams now,
it's getting tougher. Yeah, I got you. Appreciate it, man. Thank you all the way from Oregon calling in. Chico, if you don't mind, I got about a 3-second answer. I hope to God Coach Prime has already been doing that since TCU. As a coach,
that's my answer.
As a head coach, your job is to oversee. When you see potential problem, your job is to get the people in there to fix it. Now, I must say this. It hasn't necessarily been fixed. So let's pray to God Saturday. And I'll be at the game. I'll be in the stands with my big eyes like this, watching. And so hopefully it's fixed. And hopefully he will get it fixed. Chico?
I think he should have already had the meetings at whatever point that he felt like necessary, whether it was a halftime of a game or before or after a game. He told them, hey, man, whether it's a confident talk or it's a stern talk, but it could be a confident talk. Say, hey, go out there, get you and earn yourself another job. Do your thing. Show everything you could do. Pull out all the stops. You know what I'm saying? Show your talents. I'm not here to hold you back. Or it could have been, dog, you need to step it up. I don't know what the hell going on. What are you doing? You told me this was going to happen. This is not happening. We need to be doing this instead of this, So, yeah, I'm sure he pulled him in the room. From my experiences, they talk all the time, So,
better.
Offensive coordinator and the coaching, offensive coordinator and the head coach are like a triangle. They're talking all the time, and they're in constant communication, or at least they should be.
And again, we are both only speculating when he's going to do it. I hope to God he's doing it now. But if he hasn't done it, that's on Coach Prime. That's his program. And I'm just saying, hope you do it. Yep.
Shouts out to Ed. Said, I'm a Zoe. My name is Edison. That's hilarious.
He's talking about that because there's a high school in Miami. A guy Kenty put up there, Edison High School in Miami has a very large Haitian population.
Yeah.
And so that's why he said that. And Edison, that's my man from New York. He thought I forgot.
And one of my best friends from middle school was from Trinidad Tobago, but he was also from Miami. His name was Edison. So.
Edison. All right, man. 11:44. Call or talk to us. Give us your name, where you're calling from. One question, please. We almost done, Chico.
One question, black man. What's going on?
That's all I got for you, brother, man.
I got to go eat me a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Right.
Come on, talk to her.
All right, so let me read this off real quick. So you asked me a question the other day. A guy is shooting a shot. He's praying to God. Another man on the bench is praying to God. Who is God listening to? Both of them are praying. The guy shooting the shot is in a better position to change the outcome of the game. It's the platform that the guy shooting the shot has. If you hanging from a tree and you praying to God, and the guy hanging you is praying to God, who is God listening to? Thurgood Marshall was neutralized because he was put on the Supreme Court. Integration neutralized black businesses.
Okay.
So this is my question to the brother.
All right, come on, quickly,
Why
bro.
do you think crime as a single black man has exploded the viewing of college sports this year? And to Coach Hayes, why were your videos demonetized? That's my two questions.
Okay. I can answer the first one. My video is demonetized because it is literally ESPN/X and O's footage that we use, and YouTube demonetized videos because we use that footage. So that's why they would demonetize. I can answer that quickly. Chico, you're more than welcome to answer the rest, and I get where you're coming from.
I didn't get everything he said about Coach Prime being single and what?
No, he's saying, why did a single black man be able to go ahead?
Explode the viewing of college sports.
Oh, because the one single man that's doing it is not just anybody. It's not just any other coach. And that's why a lot of these traditional coaches are not happy with it, because he's a guy who's coming in off the bench. A lot of people say off the couch. A lot of people think, and getting into college coaching. Let him tell it. He's been coaching this whole time. No, not on a college level, but I'm qualified, dog. I played college football at the highest level, All-American. Got me a gold jacket that I didn't pay for. And you're telling me that it's a problem with me coaching, and with all the hoopla around it, this is what I came in the game with, dog. You know, I can't help that I'm a celebrity, and I just happen to have 4 kids that's here doing their thing. And it's just how it's set up like that, man.
And not only that, can I say this too, Chico, to push on? He has the charisma. He's a guy who was the most popular player. He's doing the same thing except him playing. He's on the sideline with a whistle. He was dynamic. He was outspoken. He was vocal. He was an excellent football player. And I'm going to make a parallel here. He's made it entertaining, just like, Lord, I'm finna pay for this, I know, but that's not what I mean. It's like WWE. We all know what it is, but it's entertaining. Coaching is no longer boring. A guy just standing on the sideline. He is now entertaining. So you're seeing, like, what is he going to do next? What's happening next? He keeps drawing you in. And that's why he did it as a player. He's now doing it as a coach. And that's why it has exploded. It's just that simple. And every week is something new and something different. He told you, I'm great at marketing, but you got to keep winning. He said that. Can I push on?
Yes, sir.
11:07 coming to you. Call or talk to us. Give us your name, where you calling from.
Yes, this is Christine Jones calling from Arkansas. I watched Caleb Mathis' video earlier today, and he said a Colorado fan come up to him and said they cost him money. What y'all think about that?
Can I say you got the sweetest voice I ever heard? That's so sweet.
Straight out of ARK, Arkansas.
Hey, banging in Little Rock. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for that comment.
Like I'm the hardest ever walked the face of the earth.
Oh my God. I bet she can smell like she can make an apple pie. I love it. Anyway, talk to me, man.
Biscuits from scratch. She said that somebody came up to Caleb Mathis and said you cost him money. You know, I guess insinuating that somebody betted on him and said that. That's unfortunate. And I don't think it's too much you can do about that. You know, people bet on the games all the time. You know, it's just hopefully you don't have people coming to the kids and saying something like "you cost me money."
Yeah. That might have been Carpet Tech, because Carpet Tech did have to give me a 50 spot.
That was Surferboard. Let me see what Surferboard said. It depends on what he said last comment. That was probably Surferboard or Corliss
Thank
Lawrence.
you so much. All right, we got two left. 6490, and we out here. 6490. Caller, talk to us. I hate to hang up on people. 6490, going once.
Hello. I'm Dave from Atlanta.
Hey, Dave from Atlanta. What's your question?
I'm very fortunate to meet y'all.
Thank you.
I'm a Georgia Dogg fan, but now I'm a big Dogg Chico fan. I love what you guys are going through, what you're talking about all this. Why do you think Sheduer can't get more creative, or they can help him be more creative with getting rid of the pass quicker? You know more about it than I do, but he's Tom Brady schooled. I think he could get some outlet passes much quicker, no matter what the misgivings are with the offensive line. You know all better than I do. Appreciate your feedback on that.
Thank you, man. So much. Hey, thank you for calling in. Hate the fact that you're a Bulldog fan. Could become a Coach Hayes fan. I'm jealous.
Now I'm a big Dog Chico fan. So
you're not a Coach Hayes fan? You're not a Coach Hayes fan?
Well, I just met you. I'm fortunate to meet y'all. I'm going to be a subscriber fan too.
I love it, man. Thank you.
Don't be the dude over there talking about you don't like me too. No, just play.
No, I think you're great. I love you guys.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Calling from Atlanta. I was that close to being the Georgia Bulldog back in the day. But what can Sheduer do to get the ball off a lot quicker in those situations? You're saying regardless of the offensive line, well, you got to look at what happened in the Oregon game also. They didn't just come with creative blitzes. They also came up and got physical with those wide receivers, whether it was on the crossing route or whatever. They came up and bump and ran those guys, and the linebackers got involved with it too. So when you have a combination of both of those going on, it's going to be tough to get the ball off because you got guys getting pushed off their routes and you got the blitz coming at you. So you're going to have to fix those problems. I think it starts, though, with the offensive line and getting corrected up front first. And then you can work with the wide receivers.
I'll say this. I've said it earlier. You got to win first down. If you don't win first down, you're kind of pigeonholing yourself to where you have to get the ball further down the field. Therefore, you're allowing more pass rush to happen. If you get into 2nd and 7, you can kind of keep defense on the heels. You can give quick passes. Also, defenses are getting better now with converging to the football with the Dylan Edwards swing passes and those things. See, TCU was kind of like sitting back like, okay, what's happening? And before you know it, that little dude was so fast, he was up on you and gone. So, yes, to your point, they got to get it out. I'm going to tell you something I haven't seen a lot of. I don't see them running a lot of slants. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see them running a gang of the slant balls right now. But we got here 7504 coming to you, caller, talk to us. And Anonymous is last. I know who that is. 7504, caller, talk to us, and we out of here. I promise. 7504, going once.
Can you hear me?
I can. Talk to me. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Renee, and I'm calling from Dallas, but I'm from Louisiana. We're going to shout out to the Buddha in the building. I wanted to ask about Travis. I saw a tweet or something that they said he sent Coach Prime saying, I'm playing in the next game, and I'm not taking no for an answer. But then they said Coach Prime still said no. Do y'all know anything about that and why he wouldn't play him if he's ready to play? Because they're going to kill number 3. He too little. They're going to get that boy hurt.
Thank you, man.
That's all I want to say. And Chico, you are so handsome.
Thank you. You talking to me?
Thank you. All you had to do was call me baby, and I'll be blushing up in this thing right now.
Just say baby.
Coach Hayes, I got you, baby. I got you, Coach Hayes. You handsome too. I just met you today, though, Chico. I'm on you all the time, darling. I got you, though.
Already.
I'm in the building.
Hey, you ain't got no friends with an AARP card? Cause I'm ready. I'm ready.
My mom. My mama.
Well, hey, Chico, you ready to double date, Chico?
Man, we gonna forget her question, man. Okay. Hold on.
All right. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for calling in. All right, real quick, Chico. I can answer this if you want. You can answer this. He's really not ready medically. That was a young guy that got that dog in him that really want to come out and play. And Coach Prime nipped it in the bud, and he's going to have to take no for an answer, unfortunately. Go ahead, Chico.
Right, that's exactly what happened. Coach Prime also, he said, he basically, the video that she was asking about, And what happened was the tweet that she saw was Travis, of course, from his home after watching them lose the game. Of course, his adrenaline is going and he wants to play. So he does what any player would do, any dog would do, and text the coach, say, hey, coach, I need to play this week. I ain't taking no for an answer. You know, that's the most you can kind of say to the coach to say, you know what I mean? I'm ready to play. I really want to play. But technically, you're not ready to play. You might feel like it, but the doctor said 3 weeks. We're going to give it 3 weeks, dog, and then we'll evaluate you from there. Coach Prime is looking out for him for the long run. He's looking out for him for life and not just for a game, not just trying to get him back to play versus a USC as if this the Super Bowl and it's the end all to his life. No, dog, get healthy, come back, you know, forget whether we win or lose this game. We're going to try our best, but we're not going to put you out there and put you in harm's way.
Correct. Real quick, Windsor 499. Winston, I know them a dog. Control, Alt, Delete. Just want to support the channel, Coach. I'm logging out. That's what I'm talking about. And then real quick, the more, that's who just called in. He said, you were demonetized because you used the records of your people. Plantation Life 2023. The more it changes, the more it stays the same. Third Eye Blind. I get you, brother. We could talk about that on a different live. We could call me on the phone. Let's chop it up. I get where you're coming from.
Use the records of your people.
Yeah, but I get it. I get it. You know, we've had conversation. And the last but not least, Anonymous, talk to me. Last question.
Yes. Hi. How you doing?
How you doing, Miss Wilcox? This is the Oracle, aka the Oracle. Ms. Wilcox, you know I love you like I love nobody else. All them other women, they didn't mean nothing, but you here. I just gotta ask you. You gotta ask us one question, and we got to run. I hate doing this to you, but I got
you. Excuse me, one question.
Yes,
I'm not asking you no question. I'm going to give you the question. I don't, I don't do asking questions.
Yes, ma'am.
I already know the answer.
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
but the thing is this.
Yes,
okay, number one, the guy has 4 games to play. Okay, and you should play him. You promised him you'll play him. Don't no excuse for not playing him. If you did not want him, you should have let him go through those spring games with Miami, where he had a private university that's very educated for those type of young men.
Yes, ma'am.
Because that's a state school. A state school is not going to do anything for you because it's state owned.
Yes, ma'am.
And to me, you shouldn't have decided to say put more money up than Miami. You should have let him went to Miami, where he can get the best of education. Plus, he would have known his drills and skills with the coaches and got himself healthier.
That's right.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
The other thing I have to say, when you lose, get over it. Go to the next one. Stop sitting in it, stop wilding in it, and stop saying this and that. Because at the end of the day, Miami has been through hell and back. It's no different. Prime got to go through it like anybody else. But the NCAA is going to use this as a handicap so they can lower the amount of money that goes to a lot of the state universities.
Yes,
the private USC, Miami, they're not into the race. And you know what I'm talking about.
That's right. Yes,
because
ma'am.
The 1st of October, you know, I told you about that America don't have no money. So the university going to say, what? They ain't got no money.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I thank you for that. I appreciate it, Miss Wilcox, a.k.a. the Oracle. She just cracked your cranium and fertilized your brain, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Miss Wilcox. I love you. I had to let her go. I can't do it. I can't, Chico. I'm sorry. Some people don't understand. Like, oh, because she has her own intro when she comes on. But you got to remember, we're dual streaming this. This is not Coach Hayes' show. This ain't Chico's show. This is the Prime Debate show with Coach Hayes and Chico and Coach Hayes. So I just want people to understand that. Real quick. Listen, now you about to make me just hold up. I lost it. Don't, Mr. Hills. I know you played $2, but I'm sorry. I can't do that. Anyway, and make me do that. But anyway, with all that being said, Big Dog Chico, let's talk to the people as we get up out of here. Where can they find you and all that?
Hey, people can find me online at BIDub, the DODub _Chico. That's Big Dog Chico on anything you type in. Hashtag Big Dog Chico, you will find me. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all the other good stuff. We're here for you guys. You got any suggestions on what we should be talking on or putting out content? do that. Put it in the comments and we'll get to it. Check out the one we just did, Prime Parents. We also got another collaboration show with my dog Dave. So more and more things coming out. Anything Coach Prime, see you. That's me. I'll let your dog. Predictions for the game. Next question. Predictions for the game. I'm going to say predictions for the game 36 to 33. You already know who I'm riding with.
All right, real quick, man. You can catch me anywhere, Coach Ace Football, all platforms. I don't care. You'll see this ugly mask on that logo right there. All you got to do is check it out. Check us out on Twitter, The Good, Bad, Ugly. Man, we've been having a lot of fun here. Tomorrow I'm doing my Canes Talk Live in the middle of the week. I'm heading to Colorado on Friday, and I'm going to be in the building. I may do a pregame show from Boulder up in there because, remember, that game is early, 10 o'clock a.m. on there at 12 Eastern. So, folks got to, you know what I'm saying? You're going to rewind that thing. Hey, rewind that thing one time for your mind because Rewind select. I like the way we end this. And so with all that being said, hold up, man. What's going on up here, man? Somebody give me my theme music. All right, there we go. So anyway, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for everybody who donated. Have fun. We about to get up out this joint, man. And well, I guess with all that being said, Chico, we're about it. We're gonna see y'all next week. And of course, check us out for the pregame, postgame shows. I'm gonna be live in that joint, man. We're gonna make it happen, man.
Let's go.
Score prediction. Yeah, you thought you was gonna let me ride? Nah. Guess what? Y'all ain't realize the subliminals in here. The West Side. I'm going with, I gotta be honest with you. I love you, Coach Prime. I love you like the day is long, my brother. This is no hate. I'm bringing it from a football perspective, my man. I got to say, USC 42, Colorado 30 in this joint. USC 42, Colorado 30 in here, man. Again, it's all love. I had to give it because today was a good day. No hate. It is what it is, man. I'm only giving it how I see it, man.
That's Coach Hayes. Much love to him. We appreciate that, Coach Hayes. That's great football.
Carlos says bye. I'm going with what trust me. My Cane fans hate it too. I do it to them too, man. So we out here, man. Oh, stick, ride, stick. Peace. Somebody pass me my Colorado concoction as we get about this joint. Somebody playing these games with y'all. Yes, sir.